not enough. Tofu is rapidly approaching Medusa in terms of network.
He's quickly approaching the bottom gates of hell. By himself, by the way. Whole team top, Tofu just solo bottom. Not concerned. Farming it up.
Tofu's feeling good about himself right now and waiting for those creeps to get through, hoping desperately that they're going to be able to break through this backdoor. They do eventually do it, Tofu. Relocate in. Ice in trouble. Ice found, and Ice brought down. Tofu gets the last hit. The buyback comes from Snap. Not wanting to go out without a fight, Trent, as they are going to recommit onto Dyrachyo. Dyrachyo get healed back up again as they get the disruption out for the save. DJ going to fall. Ace taking a lot of damage as they connect now on Ice. Life near out, but not nearly enough damage. Not nearly enough in the tank. Quinn is still there, large and in charge. Even if you kill him, he's going to come back more powerful and stronger than ever before. Like Obi-Wan Kenobi or his teacher, LeBron James, going in for the kill. Quinn still so strong. The stun is there. Quinn can't be killed. Dyrachyo, though, he might be going down. Or he just lives also. All of them. Everybody's dead from bleed. Gaming Gladiators are going to take the game. Nobody has died in about 15 minutes for them. They end the series 1-1.
I'd say it's a pretty good time to call it. You're actually right.
Shopify's is a little bit faster, I feel like. Thing against the lineup of Tundra that I don't like is you have two cores with really long cooldown ults that you rely on heavily in the Ravage and Chronosphere. Does have a couple wand charges, but not too much. It's 33. He doesn't have Gush yet, so I don't think they can really go any further.
No.
But Blood Grenade is used, and now he's taking heavy damage. As we're going to see First Blood, Saberlight getting Snake King. What?
Monkey King
the 6-minute.
Use your skills in the gaming. 1xBet.
What vibe did you get there?
They really abuse vision well. Like, it seems like they always really wanted a hero like Naga Siren or a Broodmother or like a Boost to Travel. They loved pushing out lanes and then just killing you on the lanes. Like, it was super simple, but it worked for every game. So, and it was very oppressive. Like, I just don't see them, so it's like horrifying.
Just off in the distance.
Amar is out there somewhere.
He's out there.
Looking
He's
for
watching,
me.
looking for you. And if you aren't familiar with these players, well, let me treat you to this little introduction to both of our teams.
From the ground up, we've returned. With renewed focus, we will emerge. The Earth will move under the footfalls of Quest Esports. 一股来自东方的溪流，一股来自西方的溪流，在一起，我们将维持一股强大的力量。Aster 团队已抵达。
Oh, there's the.
All right, I have a new favorite now. It's definitely Noob's. This is my new favorite pose.
Well, that's my favorite because nobody else has done it so far. So that clearly means that was not one of like the prompts. That was his like, that was his improv.
But you had too many shushes for you.
Yeah, well, about 4 too many of the.
But it's so powerful.
It is very powerful, but like, diminishing returns. You know how in Super Smash Bros. You'd use the same attack like 8 times in a row?
The
first time it does 16%, and then like the 8th time it does like 8%. They knew back then that it just loses power to use the same move over and over again.
What's your esports pose of choice, man? Are you an arms crosser? Are you like a handout? What's your go-to?
They had me do a heart this time. Like, I did like one of these.
Okay.
I kind of liked it.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
I've seen like the K-pop heart is also becoming a new one. This thing, have you seen that?
Yeah, I don't think that's me though.
Yeah.
I'm way too white.
You can pull it off, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
Amen, brother.
Fine, then I will consult the Southeast Asian on our panel. Winter, Aster versus Quest. Give me your reads on these two teams.
Yeah, gonna be hard for Aster, I think. Quest is definitely the favorite here. I think they showed a lot of variety in their drafts, a lot of different things that they are prioritizing. The other teams are not doing as much, and I think the laning phase is going to be the thing that I will always talk about for this team. They're really good in the lane. Arma, he does a lot of like small little things in the lane. I feel like the other offlaners they don't do, and that's what is winning them the lanes, And every little pressure they get from the lane, they're gonna convert it to the map control, and it makes it very hard for you to play later.
So, Moo, has the honeymoon period on Sumail joining Aster kind of dulled by now? Because we saw Tour 3, we saw Dream League Season 20, and now we're in this major right now. Where are you holding Sumail and, I guess, the Baboka relationship right now?
I've always felt like Dota is a game where you can play it without really knowing the same language. Like, Dota is its own language. So it's like, I feel like they'll be fine for the rest of the season, honestly.
Because that we have been citing regularly whenever we see Aster messing up, we're like, must be communication issues.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to happen, right? But because there's only so much you can communicate through pings or keywords or something like that. When the plans get more complicated, it might get a little weird, but and they're here, upper bracket, right?
Yep.
So I think they're doing well enough.
Definitely, and especially because the region as a whole, Brian, this is the best that China's done all year, pretty much, being able to get 3 teams out. IG was eliminated, but other than that...
Yeah, I mean, I think Aster's looks much better than they did at Dream League. Like, Dream League, they did decent in the group stage 1, and then group stage 2, they completely flopped. And then they came here, and my consistent concern, you've heard me talk about this on panel, is XSS, their offlaner. I feel like since they have Sumail, kind of steals the spotlight. Monet, very much a hard carry player. You kind of end up with XSS, I feel like, needing to cater to his other 2 cores. He needs to be a little bit more of the sacrificial, like, I buy items that enable you guys, whether or not that is him buying carry items in a specific game because they need an extra carry, or whether or not that's the aura builder. I feel like there's just a few games where he's been off the mark with his vision of how the game's going to play out. which has led Aster, who's actually getting off to a lot of good starts in the lanes, where they're not actually translating that into like a smooth like game plan that ends the game in their favor. Like they give the other team extra time to get their items, and then their early advantage was for naught.
I mean, they did a lot of experimentation with Sumel's hero pool. I feel like they need to put him on a hero where he doesn't need to communicate a lot. Like he's not the first person going in. Like he needs to be like I think they look good when he was playing Storm, and some games where he was playing the Void Spirit. But when he was playing the Puck, I remember like there were a couple of fights like he would always be the first one going in, and his team wouldn't be on time like connecting. So that might be the communication thing that you guys are talking about.
It definitely is. Puck isn't as simple as just zip in, stun, ping someone.
Yeah, you need to tell everybody to be ready, what you're gonna do, who you're gonna go on, so everybody's gonna be able to connect on time.
Yeah, it's also like you can go on multiple heroes with Puck. Coil one guy, silence the other, in and out.
I was gonna say sometimes your coil could mean I want to hard commit burst this guy, he's locked down. The other times it means like I'm keeping this guy in place, let's get the supports.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny how that works in Dota. Is there's just certain heroes that the same spell can mean so many different things, and depending on the scenario. But okay, so Quest, I think they're one of the few teams that has willingly picked Morph overall first. We usually see Morph come out on the second or third pick or the fourth pick. And in this case, Aster going for the Undying, kind of, I'd say that's a pseudo-deny pick to prevent the Undying Morph lane. And then a lot of teams have been going Visage. So I know you play Visage, Moo. Why do you think so many teams are prioritizing Visage against Morphling like this?
This is a hero that you can't really burst, and you need to keep... You basically just need to keep hurting the Morphling. Consistent damage is what I say. So, especially in the laning phase, if you let this guy sit in front of you with 250 health, max agi, you're going to get every creep denied. But Visage can just hit him. Your passive can help with the harass of the W spam that people are maxing now. And then you just have the consistent damage plus the slow of the Q to keep littling him down until he eventually has to go away.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. The Gravekeepers against the Adaptive I did not consider. That actually adds up a lot, because that's... I've seen, like, in the past, Morphlings would use Adaptive to get, like, range creeps and stuff, but I see them just spamming it off cooldown.
Yeah, they literally just use it on you.
Yeah.
It's really annoying.
It makes sense, though, because you're getting the stats now from the Adaptive, so it's just, like, that much more impactful to put extra points in it early, because it's effectively giving itself more damage, so...
The downside is they lose mobility and they lose the shifting speed. So you're actually, if you're able to keep damaging them quick enough, like Visage does, he just keeps throwing nukes at you, you'll kill him.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, the problem is most heroes get shoved so far out of lane by the Adaptive Strike spam that they can't do that. But that makes sense that if you can survive through that.
Yeah, I mean, they have the Timbersaw here as well. I personally don't think this is amazing versus Dirge in the lane, but if you are good enough at it, you can kind of just dance around the Dirge, survive till about level 4, and then you're fine. So
I'm going to use that one in the future, by the way. That's some nice alliteration. Dance around the Dirge.
Yeah. Every time I saw this hero for like a year, I just bought boots.
Yeah, I was going to say you just don't lane against the guy, but now I can sound much cooler if I say dance around the Dirge rather than just dodge. Actually, I guess I use... Dodge the Dirge? I don't know.
It came back into popularity because lane pulling isn't as potent anymore.
I mean, this matchup is also dependent on your support, right?
Yes,
if you have,
very
like,
much so.
If you have a better support on a Timber, you tend to be able to kill the Dirge, as you guys call it.
You want a support that can like keep the Dirge off your back. Something with high range usually is enough. Which, incidentally, is also the heroes that everyone's playing on pause 4, like Techies, for instance. Just has the highest range in the game. You just hit the Dirge and can't really chase your offlane around if this guy's just throwing rocks at you the whole time.
I really like the Shadow Demon ban. I think Shadow Demon Timbersaw, they cover each other's bases a lot. A lot of the heroes that counter Timbersaw are countered by Shadow Demon and vice versa. And then it also does what you said, where it helps peel off the Dirge in lane. So
yeah, in the game, Timber's really good versus Dirge, but obviously you gotta get to the lane first.
Like that was their opening in the previous series. Timbersaw, Shadow Demon. I think they opened it like once or twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just for people at home, if you think about like what carry would you pick, like all the carries that sound good on paper against Timbersaw, they usually are countered by like the disruption or the continuous dispel of the Shadow Demon ulti, and then all the heroes that like gap close or like would want to kill the Shadow Demon, they usually have like high number of damage instances but low damage, so like a PA for instance.
I mean, the other reason will also be the stacking, right? You want a support that can stack for the Timber.
Oh yeah, the Ancients, yeah.
I've always we played this combo, when I was when I was good at the game, TI. And I always thought that it was like Timber really loves having a save, because if he gets saved, he'll usually survive through anything. And then also he plays on burst, which Shadow Demon really helps with the W. Okay, this is an Aster special, I feel like, the Lion.
The Baboka.
Yeah, I've seen them play this before.
Yeah, no one else is really favoring this hero, but Baboka's been whipping it out quite often.
Yeah, they like it against Morph. I think that's most of the times that they've been whipping it out. Every team has dealt with Morph in different ways, and Aster has definitely chose the Lion. I don't mind it. The only problem with the hero is you have to consider the laning phase may be a bit of a liability. So maybe they can punish this for Quest.
It's definitely a specialist hero, because I actually think Lion's laning is quite good, but if you mess up, you're gonna pay for it.
So he's either like, he's very polarizing, is what you mean.
Yeah, he's very polarizing. So I feel like
when you say his laning is good, is it just because of the recent changes, or you feel like his laning was always decent?
to me, I felt like Pause 4 laning is as simple as have high range and some kind of nuke to secure the range creep.
In the current patch.
Yeah, in the current patch.
Okay.
That's why you see the Rubik, you see the techies all the time, right? Shadow Demon is also decent.
That makes sense.
Classic Rubik. I honestly don't. It's good versus Lion and Dirge, but I think it's quite mediocre versus Visage. You can zap the birds. It's the one good side. They'll do 0 damage if you do that.
Well, isn't it percent damage? No?
Did they change it back? I don't know. I'm the pro player. Why am I asking you?
Yeah, you should be. You should know this. You should say, no, Brian. This is how it works.
I'm pretty sure it's a set amount now.
Yeah, I think it's flat. It used to be percentage.
Which means it's way better versus Visage.
Which, yeah, that would make it very good versus Visage.
So
What the hell? Did they
to
do like the swap it and then swap it back?
at some point, maybe.
Oh,
Okay.
never mind. You're wrong, Moo. I hate to break it to you.
It's percent?
14, 21, 28, 35% reduction on
Yeah.
field.
Okay, I just remember hating it
I'll
as,
admit being wrong.
as like an illusionary.
Didn't
right?
we
That
have,
means that
didn't we have this conversation the other day where they had Rubik plus Underlord against a Morphling, and we were talking about the percentage?
I was not on this.
I think it was Rubik Tide Hunt.
Rubik
This is a
Tide,
great
yeah.
start to my paneling, guys. Anyways, we got a Luna here. This is Luna Visage. This one I know for sure works. Specifically at nighttime. The Visage gets
It's global.
They get Luna Aura, and since Luna Aura is 100% a base amount now, it adds a lot of damage to the birds.
Okay, how much did the birds hit for level 1?
Nope.
It's 25, and Luna's aura is 21, so almost double damage for the birds at level
Why
6.
do you know these
Why do you know
numbers?
this?
I know way too many numbers. It's not my fault.
I'm verifying. There's no way. You could just make up stuff and we would have to just take your word for it. What did you say level 1 familiar was?
25.
25 damage? I'm looking. God damn it, he's right.
Yeah, it used to be 30, and then they nerfed it.
I think Aster came into this game with a plan, seeing this Luna pick, because this is just a combo, like straight up.
And I've also always loved Luna against Timbersaw. One of the few carries that, like, between her and the support, right-clicking you early, it's
Yeah.
enough damage with the aura, and then also...
That's the NA thing, right? All the NA teams
yes,
like
they
the
always
big
do
Luna
it
against Timbersaw.
and then
It's good.
you also screw off into the jungle later.
Yeah.
So, like, even though Timbersaw ends up, like, no carry wants to lane against Timbersaw when he's level 6. So, at that point, you're usually happy to dip out. I've even sometimes seen Lunas go, like, 2-0-3 or 3-0-2 with the intent to kill the Timbersaw with Eclipse. But that really depends on, like, what hero Sumail's going to be. They would have to have a mid-rotation. I guess, actually, the Bavoka Lion could potentially set that up.
It'll all depend on how the lane's going. If the Timber has a good start, I think that they'll be pretty happy with the jungle, but if the Timber is slowed down a bit by the Dirge, right, early game, then I think they'll probably rotate to the Luna and keep them down a bit longer before they rotate out to the jungle.
Makes sense.
So Luna's great against Timber, but how's the Morphling matchup? Because
Every carry
Not
matchup
good.
against-
yeah,
Not
I mean, it's an
good.
agi carry, so this seems like we were always like, oh, Morphling becomes the better other hero.
Morphling is like the Rubik for carries right now.
Yeah.
It's all about the clock.
You can't just not pick spells versus Rubik.
Yeah.
You can't just not pick a carry versus Morphling.
Well, the Luna's also enabling the rest of the team, in this case the Visage, right? So it's... I would even say Lion as a support is like decent with the 20 damage at nighttime, because he's usually walking around at runes and like interacting with supports randomly on the map, and usually Lion impales you, and then it's not much of a follow-up to that, but suddenly, you know, you give a hero like Phase Boot's worth of damage and their clicks start to hurt. So I really like these supports that tend to lose trades on the map with Luna, because now suddenly they don't, and it actually amplifies their ability to roam freely. And then, theoretically, when this Visage gets 6, I imagine Morph will 100% get shoved out of lane at that point,
Yes.
with the birds having the Luna aura.
Typically is hard. So I was wondering what Quest would pick, because their playstyle to me was to pick a mid that rotates and then go to the side lanes. And then you got the Lesh.
I don't like the Lesh pick, to be honest.
Don't they have too many like squishy heroes?
They have too many heroes that do the same thing, I think.
They've committed to full death ball here, pretty much.
I look at the quest heroes and I don't think I want Lesh. There's no illusion heroes. There's like two types of heroes Lesh wants. Ones that he kills faster than they kill him, like illusion heroes, where he'll just lifesteal off of you. And the other one is when a bunch of guys are like up in your face dealing point blank damage, and you can just out sustain them. So yeah, they have two melee heroes, the Timbersaw and the Primal, but these heroes don't like sit around you for a long time. You know, Timber's like chaining through you, Primal's charging through you, Morph's like wave forming onto you. So I feel like I really liked Aster's draft until this Leshrac pick. He doesn't have any saves. He doesn't have I guess maybe the Tombstone, but yeah, I think they kind of botched it with this last one.
But is there another mid who would have been as aggressive with the push? Because Moo, you see that Lesh and you're like, they're just gonna mow down these towers.
Yeah, I think their plan is to get the first Aegis and then try to get a Rax. I feel like the late game for Quest might be a bit better to get the BKBs on the Timber and the Morph or something, and you just kind of go. But we'll see. I'm honestly kind of conflicted about this one. I think these are both good teams. They have good drafts for their team.
Right.
I'd probably go with Aster on this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Respect.
Let's see if it happens. Let's get ready for game number 1 of Quest, going up against Team Aster with OD Pixel and Fogged.
Thank you very much, Tsunami. Yes, looking forward to this game 1 coming up of Aster vs Quest Esports. And it looks like, we know Quest, they don't mind taking the games kind of late. They've had some pretty long games, a very long one in particular. Aster, they've said we don't want to do that. No, not at all. They've picked heroes to just kind of run it down mid and put this game to an end, Fogged. Is that going to work out for them?
Definitely looks difficult with the way the Quest has been able to kind of stall things out, and I think they're really good at playing the map. So it does look difficult, but if Aster's able to get the ball rolling, they have that push lineup. So I'm looking forward to see if it is going to work. They are very fragile. That's the one thing I'm worried for them is their front line. If the Visage doesn't get off to a good start, things can quickly become problematic for you. You go first. Like you get in the front line. You tank the spells because it's going to be a situation where there's going to be this Primal Beast charging in, this Timbersaw charging and dealing the damage. Who's going to be the one that wants to actually soak it on Aster? But if they can't get that ball rolling, let's see what they can do. Because, yeah, tons of push. The Visage with that Luna. We've seen these birds with the Luna aura, how much they can do. And we've seen the Lesh matchup versus the Primal, I believe, a couple times now, where the Lesh has a good advantage over the Primal over the laning phase. It's just in the mid-game, you have to be careful, because there's a lot of damage, a lot of bursts on the side of Quest, which that's what worries me for Sumail. Yes, when the Shard comes out, right, for the Undying, you have some type of saves, but before that, there's some very limited save to actually protect Sumail versus Heavy Burst.
Yeah, and Sumail on his Lesh, absolutely every reason to respect it and look forward to what he can do. But as of recent, Noob on his mid-primal, it's been pretty good.
He is so good at, he knows all the little tricks, right? The chain stun combos and stuff like that, the big bursts. We saw in particular, I know me and you casted the Bet Boom versus Quest one, and Noob actually completely destroyed the whole game on his Primal Beast. He was versus a Prangolier in the game, so it was a little bit easier for him overall, I would say. But yeah, I've seen this man just absolutely take over games on this hero. So let's see what we get. Let's see if the line works. The line feels like it's a little bit... It doesn't match the rest of the draft either. That's my one thing, too. I guess it's a good line for getting the catch and stuff like that on the Morphling. Perhaps that's what they want for the most part in the laning phase. But when you look at the other 4 heroes, they're all about grouping. Line's a little bit different.
I mean, do you feel sort of this top lane tier 2000 is going to feel the pressure? Like how easy of this lane is it going to be for more backed up by a silencer?
It's definitely not the easiest lane for tier 2000 by any means. It's a ton of damage between these two. Lion's gotten buffed over and over and over again. You have good right click. Same thing with the Visage. And this is the answer that Aster has done, I believe, multiple times now, if I'm not mistaken, to try to go for this Morphling. It's worked here and there. So it's something that they've done before, and it's something they believe in. So it's important to believe in your own style here. Yeah, if they're able to get off the bat, if they're able to snowball, their draft absolutely can just take towers and just really take over the map early. It's just, can you deal with the Amar Timber, deal with this Noob, of course, playing his Primal Beast, and yeah, the Morphling, of course. And can't even just take away credit from Omar. This is actually one of his, this might be my favorite hero he plays. His Rubik and his Clockwork are phenomenal, and he's got some godly spells to steal this game.
Yeah, I mean, what's sort of top of the list for him? I mean, already that top lane, the power of the two of them, as you say, a lot of damage from Lion and Visage as they catch out Kaori.
A lot of kill threat. They just play to just hit this Morphling, hit the Silencer every time they stack up. So This time the Morph does not have the backup of like some super strong buy position. He doesn't have a Clockwork on Undying, so.
Oh, down bottom. And we'll make sure the Quest strike back hard. They'll get a kill themselves on the offlane duo.
Oh, he's gonna be constant kills on these side lanes. And yeah, we're seeing that effect of the mid lane. That's why they snap pick that Lesh, of course, versus them in this matchup.
Yeah, somehow doing an excellent job of making life difficult for Noob on these first few waves.
Yeah, it's just really nice having the Lightning's just, as I was mentioning from the last game too, it's just gotten so many buffs. Nope, he's gonna just not play the lane. Looks like he's gonna do what I've seen some Primal Beasts do, is you pull it to neutral camps. I think I talked about it the other day too, is you just use Trample to abuse, just keep stacking up these waves and get that little bit of extra farm. So Sumail, he's gonna drag. He's gonna follow him.
All right, he wants to try and sort of persist at making the lanes, the waves meet, or is he himself going to look to try and farm a camp?
Nope. He was trying to. Was he like trying to get the other way? But you can't aggro it.
I was going to say, is it probably a good job for his offlane that it did it?
Yeah.
He was stealing away from the offlane.
If he's stealing away from Amar, I don't know if you want to do that.
You don't. Amar would not be happy. He would not be happy if those creeps didn't turn up in his lane.
Okay, so Sumail kind of cuts the mid wave a little bit so that he gets some tower damage and stuff. Okay, little bits of things. Let's see if Noob maybe makes early rotations.
We've seen him do this before, right?
Yeah.
If the lane's not going, great, and it's not down to the player, it's down to the hero matchup for the most part, he can look to make early rotations. As for now, it doesn't seem to find the opportunity to head all the way down bottom, so we'll return to mid.
Not this early does he want to make the move. But we have seen Primals. I mean, I don't know who's the first one. I know a lot of people talked about Topson and pubs and stuff like that. It's like you just move a ton from mid lane since you have that long range onslaught. But so far, so good for Aster.
It's just so much burst, Corey. Not a chance. XXS and Paboka take him down again.
And he's slowing down TA2000. He's still got 15 last hits, but yeah, it's
a noob.
Really good start for Aster.
I mean, it tries to go for Sumail, but Sumail's able to hold him back with the stun.
Power Rune. Are they going to give some help? It looks like both sides are going to.
Oh, is it going to be top or bottom?
Well, it's Water Rune, so
that's
they're both there.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Just testing.
Yeah, so they'll both be able to get that little bit of a refill.
CS at the moment, yeah, Sumail still quite the lead. 26 for 7 against the 19 and 0.
He's getting quite a fair bit of denies. Seeing bottom, Monet still free farming, but Amar's not getting pushed out. So that's, as we've seen, Amar tends to not really get pushed away. They're very good at all these kind of matchups, even though, as they talked about the Luna, this is something that NA and a couple of different regions do try to go for when you're playing versus these tanky offlaners. XXS again top.
It's just a very difficult place for Corey to be, and he's going to turn, get the curse off, but will go down again. We'll see if TO2000 can find Paboka in return. He can. Verify will not save Paboka's. TO2000 finds one of them. Won't be able to get XXS. In fact, XXS able to fire a fair bit of damage back. Still relying on a lot of one charges and infused range drops. So TA2000, despite the fact that Corey's dying quite a few times up here, he's still doing all right.
Yep. Mid, trying to set up onto Noob. They've got the Hex. They've got another Lightning. They almost have enough. But
Onslaught's available.
Not quite. Filling up Sumail's bottle, though, enabling this Lesh to continue dominating the match. 34-11. Excellent start. This time, though, like you said, yeah, Kaori dies top, but they get the trade kill at the least, and now he is going to be able to go mid, refill the bottle, perhaps pass some tangles over as well. Yeah, so far, Aster, pretty decent stuff so in the laning phase, although TA2000 is starting to recover. 26 and 11 on these last hits.
I mean, and I guess the thing is as well for Quest, in terms of their lineup being able to come up and turn up to sort of the pushes that Aster are going to try and come at them with. It's not terrible, right?
No, they are
fighting.
They
can put together pretty good defenses around these towers, especially if Amar is off to a good start and gets the quick timing. They get the catch, and they've got the burst.
Nicely done.
I mean, these two are doing fantastic. XXS and Paboka, this lane, it's gone pretty beautiful.
They didn't put Vision on the side there in particular, right? So he actually has the opportunity to go for this stun and chain stun onto the Morph without him actually seeing anything as Sumail. This time he won't get lucky. This is a big...
Kaori again.
Kaori.
They're going to run him down. He's not even going to get his own bounty in. Paboka's able to steal that. It's another death on the silencer. 4 deaths already. Corey's having a tough early game.
Super tough early game. I mean, I think this is some of the most deaths I think I've seen on him at this tournament at this point. Noob, he will find a haste rune out of it, though, which is a really good kill setup rune, especially for squishy side lanes.
Oh, yeah,
he definitely has kill threat on
really wants to get Monet.
Yeah, Luna or Visage could definitely be in trouble, but he has Dragon Creep Wave, so Monet will see it. He'll be able to walk back to his tower. Be careful.
Avoiding these early attempts from Quest Esports here, Aster.
This is a phenomenal start here. XXS nearly has a solar crest. He actually pretty much has the solar crest done. He's about to hit 6, so he's going to be able to continue applying pressure up here nicely. I like this solar crest build actually this game. It feels good. It's just all about buffing up Monet, getting that early tempo going, getting the tower pushes going.
Good potential to be a pretty strong snowball quite early from Aster's lineup.
Yep. But definitely, like you said, there is ways for Quest to be able to fight around it. We're seeing a lot of stacks coming out here. Noob, he's going to start working on them. Since Amar is actually the most important one, I would say, to be able to show up and defend these towers early in this game, and he is the one who, at least from the side of Quest, is having the best game. But definitely kill threat onto him too. Tons of magic damage, tons of burst onto Aster.
See where Noob looks to go. He's at the level 7, so
he's got 7 too.
He's good to go with the max trample.
He got the dream neutral as well. He got the occult bracelet, so he is very tanky, actually. 1400 HP with that extra little bit of magic resist.
Let's see where he looks to go. I mean, top lane could be pretty good because Aster might be baited into to go aggressive, and in DJ's TPing over the top.
They're going to get a tombstone, and they might just be able to get a free kill onto the Undying here.
Let's see if they can. Yeah, Pichu, he's been surrounded. See if Baboka and XSS can do anything to help out. They have got the stuns. X as well. They managed to hold back Noob a little bit, but they'll still lose Pichu. They'll get the pulverize onto XXS. He's out of options as well. Good rotation from Noob with the TP top. Able to slam down some of the struggles that Quest Esports were dealing with up there as they take out the 2 of them.
And they send Omar to the mid lane so that he can just deal with the Sumail trying to get any type of push there. And Omar, he's maximizing, so getting that farm going. And now they're actually the ones with the gold lead. A huge rotation. I knew found the literal best rune, right? The haste rune is probably the best thing you can get onto a Primal Beast this early. Easily able to get onto both heroes.
Yeah, and he'll be able to swing back around towards the mid, take over from there. Omar's freed up to be able to look to maybe join forces. Maybe even down bottom. I mean, bottom is still a bit of a difficult place to play. I guess Amar, he's super strong, he's hard to kill, but finding Monet could be a bit difficult. Monet sticking to the jungle and staying away from the lane for the most part.
Yeah, Omar more just wanting to sap the XP, right? Whenever Noob does make the rotation around. Amar's fine on his own, as we've seen. Showing. Gonna have good timings.
I really want to try and put the pressure on mid now, Aster. Both supports. Baboka and Pichu.
Their whole lineup is about pressure, right? So they kind of have to always play like this. Otherwise, you can't really give up. You don't really want to, at least on the form of Aster's. Giving up early kills, allowing Quest to just keep this game kind of even. You want to get that ball rolling very quickly here. So I imagine Sumail maybe see some points in Edict coming out soon. He wanted this lightning, of course, though, for the lane. Bottom tower, though, Quest, they're the ones who are actually starting to probably get the first tower on board.
It looks to be. I mean, Money's going to move himself up to the top lane, so they can start pressuring a tier 1 there, but indeed, as it stands, with the fact that this bottom lane's been completely abandoned, looks like Quest will be on track to get a good timing with the tier 1 tower push.
Top dies fast, though. Visage Familiars with that Luna Aura. It is level 4, so it gets dropped down very quickly here.
Monet can now start to take over some of the jungle of Quest themselves. They've got Noob looking at the mid lane. Sumail trying to get the setup.
He's safe.
Catch him with the stun. 10-minute power rune. See who's going to get lucky with that one. Noob's going to check the bottom. Sumail and Pichu up to the top.
I'm seeing a ton of stacks being formed for Quest. Aster, this is, I think the next best thing that they could probably have happen is if they can take this mid tower and somewhat get into this triangle. But I think Quest, they're actually just going to farm these stacks right now.
Yeah, solid rune for Noob as well. He's able to find himself a DD.
He's got the Ogre Club now, too. I mean, this hero is unbelievably tanky. Even if you do get behind a little bit inside that early game, you can just see his HP pool, right? He's 1600 HP or more when he does get that delivered with an Occult Bracelet. Lars Aster, they have constant kill threat, though, because how much damage they do have. But now that it's daytime, a little bit harder for you to play around at least the Visage Familiars with that Lunar Blessing. Aster trying to give Baboka level 6, so he's got Finger.
Let's see this. Bottom lane. I mean, they're trying to pick up levels around the tower. Baboka. Sumail. He's actually going to turn up there. They do indeed have the vision on Noob, so Noob. He'll be aware now.
Amar, top of net worth. Now farming Ancients. He's nearly finished with his Ancient stacks. Pace the game. Kind of chilling. I feel like Quest is kind of happy.
They're always going to be happy with this sort of period of play. I mean, Amar, yeah, full free farm.
Bottom, Baboka. Last word does connect onto him. They've got the grab, a free kill. Both supports, I mean, Kaori and him very, very kind of under-leveled. Baboka just trying to find that farm for that level 6.
I mean, the these signs of a bit of a slowdown definitely going to be causing more concern for Aster than for Quest, without a doubt. I mean, the timings are going to be hit still by Monet. You know, the Mask of Madness into the Dragon Lance. We'll see if he wants to sort of get the BKB and then kind of go for the full-on pushes.
They definitely want to just still try to pressure anytime that you can around mid, or anytime you see any of these heroes low on the side of Quest. Omar is a bit low. They're going to try to go for mid. Omar, get the setup onto him.
Should easily have him at the 4 of them. He is gone.
Might enable them to get this tower here. Accelerating things a little bit here, but in the meantime, I mean, Noob, he's cutting bottom wave. TA2000, he is just absolutely free farming during all of this. So yeah, the onus is on Aster really to just keep the ball rolling, keeping the Sumail enabled as much as possible. He does have his Bloodstone now. Yeah, but can keep his presence on the map.
Quest, just pretty much in all the games that we see them, they're just so good at maximizing the farm.
Good at maximizing and knowing when to take the fights when they get those big items.
You're absolutely on a timer when you play against Quest, especially with this sort of lineup.
100%, yeah. He is getting some okay timings here. But he's the thing is though that's scary is that he's actually like neck and neck with the Morphling. Like you want your Luna to just be like boom, like getting way ahead because you know you get that big farm rate of course. But he did have to put like early more points of course in Lunar Blessing so that he can get that aura for the Visage. But
I mean, it's not. It doesn't feel like one of those games where this Luna's going to turn up and start shredding through the heroes of Quest, right? You've got 2 beefy cores. I mean, 3 honestly as well with the way the Morphling can play. So
it could be difficult. It could get difficult quickly if you aren't getting more. You can just see the way that Quest is playing. Like they're just okay. You want to play farm game? Sure.
Yeah, Quest
do that.
Super happy.
Yep. Looking like they're literally just Noob is just pulling. Like creeps together, he just continues just trampling neutrals. Amar is farming ancients. Yeah, 1000 chilling.
Hitting level 12. He's looking to get his BKB on as well after the Kaya. So, you know, Amar's going to be fully prepared to deal with these pushes that will come in from Aster around Sumail and Monet.
I think Aster, maybe you want to look for maybe a kill and just perhaps a super early Roshan attempt with their line because they do kill Rosh very, very fast. I actually think they could perhaps go into it very soon because they've got Undying, they've got the birds, they've got the Blessing. Soon to be nighttime. Maybe that's a timing that they're going to be waiting for just so that it is that global lunar threat. But it's just buying time, right? Quest, BKB near out for the Primal Beast.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're just sort of saying we want the mech on XXS, the BKB on Monet, and Sumail, he wants his Jules. But I feel like this has been sometimes some of the problems that we've seen from Aster and some of the other games that they play, where sometimes they kind of get off to a good start in the lanes, but it gets just slowed down a little bit too much.
Slowed down a lot. They're gonna. I mean, it's gonna be a big thing around that Rosh if they're able to get it and get that speed.
I mean, I feel like Quest will fight them there.
It does feel. Yeah. I mean, especially with the way you see Amar itemizing. If he does go for the BKB, I think that's an indicator of we're gonna double BKB fight you around Rosh, and if you don't get a successful situation around Rosh, like you will start to lose this game very, very quickly. You need to get a snowball. Yeah, BKB is about to be done for Noob. They might be able to catch him though.
Baboka
gets the onslaught off.
Yeah, Baboka not able to get the catch on him beforehand.
And now his buddies are connecting. This could get awkward real fast.
Yeah, Sumail's not going to be able to set up for his own stun either. Noob a bit too speedy with the phase, but it's a bit of an awkward opening there. Even if they did get the opening stun, I don't know if they would they have had enough damage throughout the 3 kind of stuns, the 2 stuns and the Hex to kill him, do you think?
I don't know. Would have been close. But either way, it's Rosh time. For Aster, it's time to go up there immediately. It's nighttime. X-Success, as you said, Solar Crest back. Yeah, send Monet up there. Get this Rosh, accelerate stuff.
Yeah.
That is what their draft is playing around.
Okay.
It's getting an advantage, getting Rosh, get everything
2 tier 2 towers I feel like would be the minimum
like
that they'd be happy with under the timing of an Aegis.
But you can see the Quest, I mean, are they actually going to even look to contest it? They do have, I believe, one of the BKBs, but they don't have a Mars, so maybe the call is just continue to split up, continue to farm.
Yeah, it looks like Noob's not going to head into the gate, so if they're aware of this happening, they're going to let it happen?
Yep. I'd imagine they are. I mean, the way the Quest is playing the map, everyone's farming it. Look how far Kaori is playing up on bottom lane, so that kind of says everything of them knowing. They'll scan just in case. Let's see what Aster looks to do with it.
They got to do a lot.
Keep going. Yep.
This is going to be the test for Aster.
They're going to perhaps get a nice flank here. Setting up around bottom. Noob does have the BKB off. If he just gets it off, he'll be fine. But if they can get the disable on him beforehand...
They'll probably get poor old Kaori.
I believe they will.
As indeed, yeah, they're aware of stuff going down now. Kaori. There won't be any escape for him. But all part of the plan. Noob's able to walk away freely.
5 of the 7 deaths so far. It's Kaori. And that is well worth it as a 5 position in this type of game where you're just... Yeah, you're the only one really getting picked off.
No, sure. I mean, it's also a situation, right, where Aster, they've...
Nope. They catch him. They've get the Hex.
Do they have enough lockdown? Lucid Beam, stun, Eclipse, fingers there, but the BKB's out in time.
He's gone.
And he is away with the Onslaught and the TP.
And that is 2 ultimates used. The first finger, I believe, of the game. And of course, that Eclipse that comes out from Monet. That actually caught him off guard. I think it was a lens that caught him off guard. The Hex. And he survives anyway, but super long range that comes out there from Baboka. Either way, though, you don't get anything out of those.
No, Quest is happening. I mean, it's 2 ultimates used, and it's also the fact that Aster, as soon as they picked up the Aegis, they kind of get pulled all the way back to their own tier 2 down on the bottom lane. So
good call.
Just Quest kind of pulling Aster all across the map and not into the places that Aster want to be for these pushes.
Aster looks like they're just going to bypass and go for tower here, even without a creep wave, perhaps. I don't blame him.
They've got the BKB timing on Monet. It's going to be making its way out. So
BKB's up, and Noob's is going to be still on cooldown for about 40 seconds. West. Looks like they're gathering a little bit here, though. They do have the global. They've got everything at the ready.
Quest they will fight at the tier 2.
With the BKB when Noob's got it back up.
Nice, yeah, true. Maybe that 30 seconds is going to be enough of a window for us to do some damage here. I mean,
there's a glyph. They've got the spam from Chakram. See, I mean, they want to just push through it. They'll force the glyph. Got the setup here over on the side here.
Noob was holding out for a power in, but it's going to end up spawning top. It's still a shield break.
Very good one. That's a really good one to hold a tower in particular.
Yeah, this tier 2 tower push is going to get a bit complicated now for us. They do, of course, have Aegis and BKB and Monet.
Okay, the stun. Sumail is in deep.
He's going in super deep. See if he can live through this. They get the lift up into the pulverizer.
Going Eclipse.
He's getting low indeed. The turnaround's there in time. Omar will die, but the damage has been done. Sumail is out. So is Baboka. Pichu's in trouble. They have to split. They've got to run here, Ash.
Can they run? Noob's after them.
Onslaught's at the ready, closing in onto the gap onto Monet. Chakram from Amar connects. Monet, he's down the once, and of course he's going to be back for round 2. He'd already used the BKB the first time round.
So dead.
He is in a whole world of pain. Monet surrounded. Quest take him out. The tier 2's defended. I mean, they barely did any damage at all there, Aster, to the tower. And Quest, they push him back hard now. Being able to blow up this sort of 4K lead. Starting to see now very much the signs that we did feel were coming, Fogged.
Yep. I mean, it's actually Aster the one to force the fight, but everyone from Quest is around. They've got global, they've got everything, and it's Noob with the shield rune. It's the tankiest hero in the game. He made even tankier.
We'll see on the replay again here.
I think the Eclipse barely actually connects, but it's just so deep.
Yeah. See Amar able to turn. Throws it down, and then, yeah, just having Noob in with the BKB on the front. They're beyond the tier 2 as well. It was such a risky spot for Aster to take the fight.
Especially if a global comes off. As soon as the global comes out, yeah, your cores, you know, you got a BKB Lash. Or sorry, you've got the Lash in the front, now you've got the BKB on Monet, but everybody else is silenced and they can't do anything as the Primal Beast just gets right on top of them and just rips them to shreds. A 5K lead Quest. I mean, it feels like they know exactly how to play versus this draft, and I think they just know it's like all the pressure is really on Aster to play aggressive, and all Quest really has to do is play defensive and just wait for their timings. And that's exactly so far what it feels like they've been doing. Is Kaori, he's got those 5 out of the 8 deaths, but he's actually still farming because of all the stacks that he's been able to do.
He got 2K gold in the bank. Yeah. He's deciding on what to treat himself to.
Feels like a pretty good Glimmer game if he wants to go down that route.
Yeah, I think Glimmer or push your Force, being able to break people. You know, the line comes in with the setup, you want to be able to slide them away so Sumail can't get the connecting stun.
Yeah, they're both really nice, and they're going to be able to find themselves Philosopher's Stones too, so the Dream, and they'll get the Trusty Shovel, so they're just going to continue maximizing, continue farming. For Aster, I mean, what's next timing? Your big Aegis push, your BKB comes out, and it doesn't really do much of anything to Quest at all.
It feels difficult in these positions, right, for Aster. Like, yeah, what do they look towards next?
That's a great question. Now at this point, it feels like Quest is going to fight every single time that Aster looks to go for them here. As I mean, TA 2000, he's nearly got the Aghanims pretty much done. About 600 gold away. Just not easy for Aster.
No, I mean, and it never was going to be against Quest.
Never was going to be against Quest. I mean, against some other teams like these type of push drafts, for sure, can end up catching people off guard. But Quest, they didn't overreact. They knew exactly how to kind of react to stuff. Noob finds another grab. Does he have the burst? Not entirely.
Didn't quite have trample up, and respects the fact that the tier 2's still there.
He's gonna go in again though. Anyway,
he doesn't respect it that much.
JK.
He tries for the TP, but Onslaught's back up. And indeed, Noob able to find that kill. Bringing in the bottom wave as well. This tier 2 probably going to be going down unless we see some faces being shown by Aster.
There's no glyph. It'll get at the least denied. And there's TA2000's Aghanims. Now it's difficult for Monet in these fights. Even more difficult for Monet in these fights because he's just going to get all his stats sapped from him.
Noob's, he's happy to show himself down. He knows he's pretty much invincible. Level 15 with a BKB, ready to pop.
Too tanky. Kaori. Looks like he might go down perhaps again, actually, the Glimmer.
Taking a look to turn it. Amar's here, as well as Noob. They put the BKB on towards XXS.
He got the E off. He got the shard off there.
He is able to buy some time here. But
Monet's dead.
And now with the global, with the silence, the curse, they're looking to push on towards XXS. But Boca's smell will try and provide some sort of support. The stun catches out Noob, but what was going on with the Lunar Fog?
Monet he died to the Morphling and the Rubik, and now everyone else is dying.
Everyone else is dying indeed. Pichu chased down by a mile, get the soul rip off. I mean, from the side, TA2000 just wraps around. They've taken out 3, they've taken out 4.
I mean, these guys are way too good.
Yeah.
The understanding of the game, the team play, the coordination. Monet just shows in mid for a second. I think he just gets lifted. They both turn into Lunas, kind of. Double Lucent Beam. They just detonate poor Monet.
A tough game for Aster.
I mean, this is
if it wasn't already. I mean, 22 minutes in, they're down 8k, and they have a lineup that needs to be ahead, and they're far from that.
Absolutely. It truly is a masterclass of understanding the way that Quest is able to set up like this, and the next itemization just hurts more and more. Just level 18 already on TA2000, who seems like he's the one death in the laning phase, and that's it. Everything else has just been flawless from the side of Quest. Aster, I mean, next big timing would particularly be BKBs and stuff like that, right, for Sumail, but how are they going to kill now these cores? They always have bodies. These two frontliners, just too tanky. There's a global to cover. And yeah, I love the itemization. Definitely want to point that out in particular. Just Amar understanding. I mean, he hasn't really had to use it too much. Yeah, he's used it twice, but going to BKB a little bit earlier than usual. Just really understanding that if the fight happens, when it get down bottom, that BKB is going to be the best item he can go for. That is a treat, honestly. I really like watching the way that Quest has been able to set stuff up.
Yeah, I just sort of wonder, I mean, if you're Aster, do you feel like in this matchup you're going to try another similar approach in terms of like the timings that you go for with the draft with this sort of push focus, this group up focus, or do you want to try something completely different against Quest? You know, what kind of ways do you want to be approaching the game against a team like Quest right now?
I mean, that's just a tough answer, because if this is like your way that you're like, okay guys, we have our Morphling answer, right? We're doing this Visage, we're gonna have the Lion and stuff like that. They only killed him the once, it just everything, and they probably felt like their draft looked pretty good with the way that they can, you know, take advantage of these lanes, but they didn't really take advantage of them nearly enough as much as they needed to, it felt like. Yeah, Noob got shut down, but he got a haste rune, he got a double kill with this first rotation. It seemed like kind of the dream for him, so it's tough. Because if this is your idea and it doesn't work, then you're like, man, do we just not know? Like, this Quest just, yeah, one step ahead.
The Shadow Blade on Mono, very close to the Silver Edge.
I mean, Aster, they 100% have to get Roshan, or this game is pretty much impossible for them here.
It's going to be difficult. I mean, Quest is heading their way. There's almost certainly going to be a team fight kicking off first.
And there's definitely situations where it could be like these double tombstones. They have a Rubik and a Morphling, so I think that's probably why he only won 1 point in Tombstone this game and 4 in Soul Rip, just to get that heal snowball going and not give up level 4 Tombstone twice. We'll be able to get the D ward, and they still will have their ward, so they're going to get some good information here on Quest. Everyone's set up. Super tanky frontliners. Aster, yeah, it's like they have to blow up one here, but I feel like they have to expend literally everything to maybe even not get that kill. As Quest is sneaking in.
Oh yeah, Quest is ready to go. Jump forward down to the high ground. Straight away, Noob's in with the pulverized jumps. The backlines finds Pichu. Corey in trouble, but no, the Glimmer's dead. Corey's going to be fine. The buyback will come out from Pichu. As Aster, they have to split.
Monet.
They're focusing XXS. XXS will be able to protect himself for now with the stone form.
Monet ready to use BKB.
And now Quest, they can look to just really continue to push the issue here. As the tombstone will get dropped down, they'll be able to focus towards it. But Boca gets completely destroyed. TA2000 puts the BKB. He's looking to try and stay on top of Sumail now. Turns efforts over towards XXS as XXS does focus down Corey. Will manage to kill him, so a dieback on the silencer. Jump forward from Omar. He gets the telekinesis onto XXS. The Visage is gone. Amar just bullying both Pichu and Sumail. As they'll turn their attention over towards Noob, but Noob, he's got backup. TO2000 wave forms forward aggressively. Noob's able to onslaught, back up to the safe on the high ground. TO2000, it's pretty untouchable. Same to be said for Amar. Sumail, XXS, they have to back away from this. XXS, of course, buying back, trying to get into this fight to help out. Amar stunned forward.
What a stun!
They're able to catch Sumail here with the stolen stun. Sumail tried to turn himself, but his own stun will miss. Amar has the chakram down. Noob with the pulverized. Sumail is gone. Quest, they take the fight. Despite Aster dropping the 2 buybacks for that one.
A fancy little slide through there with the 4-step stun, but a godly initiation overall from Quest. They just go, okay, we're just going to start the fight. A blink BKB Primal Beast, just ulting them with a global silence to cover. Monet literally BKB Silver Edges and runs instantly from the fight. That's the whole
look at this
of the start
that's
of that.
That's a style points there from Omar.
It looked pretty.
Sliding in with the stun.
16k gold lead.
Yeah, they just can't take a fight. I mean, Aster, they did their best efforts to kind of keep that one going and sort of split Quest up themselves, but...
I mean, they keep on killing Kaori, but that's all. That's it. It's just Kaori. He dies twice. He's 7 of the 10 deaths.
Yep.
But it doesn't matter. Yeah, the 3 cores just... The super kind of elusive core is just swinging in and out of the fight over and over again. And they're super tanky.
And it's soon to be even more tanky. I mean, bottom of the lane, Noob. Sumail has found him, but yeah, nothing really Sumail could do. Even if he gets a stun, BKB is always there for Noob. Noob's going to be looking to get this heart next on top of the Kaya Sanj. So he's just going to have far too much HP. Ain't nobody getting through those numbers.
And look at this. I mean, Mar, look at the build. He's going Refresher now. So that's
oh, the old, yeah.
I mean, more BKBs.
BKB,
yep.
yeah.
Good luck fighting into double BKBs and stuff like that. They're clearly not able to actually have any physical damage in the fights, as you see from Aster. Monet cannot actually just stand his ground and hit anybody. He's also just going to lose all his stats from the Ags morph, so a cool approach, as they're just really recognizing the fact that it's just magic damage, and they'll have the protection. Level 20 on Amar, 507, flawless game from him, as we've come to expect from his Timbersaw. Even if they do look for the counter picks and stuff like that, somehow he just doesn't die. They picked a Luna Undying lane versus him. Pass him over a cheese.
Now the Quest themselves, they're ready to go for the base. They know how strong they are and how very little Aster can really do to stop them. They're going to try and get the catch onto tier 2000.
He's fine. Sumail, careful.
They pop the BKB for this effort, Sumail. So there won't be any fight to occur as Quest can back off.
Boca can never really go for any type of play to initiate. No Blink Dagger ever in Realms of Sight since he had to go for the lens build, and yeah, there's just a Lincolns from the start of the game from TA2000. Sumail will go for the split push. He's like, I don't want to be down there because I don't have my BKB, and Tombstone's already committed. Push is going to commence here for Quest. Noob gonna cut the mid wave. They're just gonna keep this shoved in. 3 minutes on Aegis.
With the opening onto TA2000, but again, he's saved out to the side.
Omar, an instant 4-staff. He's even looking to set up for Sumail because he knows Sumail does not have the BKB.
Yeah, they saw him pop it on the defense down bottom. So Omar is going to start playing around with Sumail.
He's got a stun. He actually whiffs it.
He's going to try and TP out, but the onslaught's there from Noob as they've caught Sumail. And they've killed him off. He's out for 50.
No hesitation. I mean, Omar literally, like, Sumail showed himself for like a split second too close to tier 2, and Omar just an instant TP to get on top of him. Yeah, they knew he didn't have BKB. Can't get away.
Yeah, I think one of those moves as well from Sumail, which is he knows the game's in a pretty hopeless position, so he goes for the risky farm. He knows it's probably not going to go well, but he also knows that regardless of what he does at this point, it's probably not going to go well for us.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a lot to be done now.
Yeah, you just have to try to find anywhere on the map to get something, but yeah, I mean, you're just constantly getting hunted. Noob, as you said, he now has the heart done. 7-0 and 9 also on him.
Yeah, look at his HP.
He's going to be at like 4.6k or something.
It's going to be up there.
Nothing like that.
Not what these magic damage dealing heroes want to be looking at.
No. Let's see. Okay, 4.4. Either way, good luck bringing him down.
Yep.
All 3 cores just feel like their effective HP is unbelievable on the front line. That's Aster.
See if there's anything they can do here on the base defense. I mean, they were able to obviously push
Noob's just in.
BKB makes the jump over towards Monet.
Deleted.
Carry gone. Samael's down as well. No buyback available on Samael. Monet does have buyback. But Samael and Pichu are gone. Quest.
Look at Noob. 0 damage being taken. As a free initiation for him every time. Blink, BKB Global. Good luck going against that.
There's nothing you can do against it.
Nope. And TA2000, he's like, okay, I'm a Luna. I push Axes nice and fast here.
It's a full set mid. They'll look towards down to take down the bottom as well.
Still a minute left on the Aegis too. They're going for Monet again.
There's the jump, Noob. This time Monet gets the BKB off.
He's in the Tombstone.
He's into the Tombstone for now. It'll give him a little bit of safety. Tier2000 caught by the Hex. That's the Aegis taken out of the hands of Tier2000. But Amar, he's in with the Chakram on top of Monet and Pichu. Monet can't get back to the fountain. Out for 100 seconds. A die back on him. As XXS tries his best to bring Omar down. Will get him, but it costs him his life. 3 dead. No buybacks, and they'll tap out. GG is called as Quest Esports looking pretty impossible to beat in this game 1.
I mean, a pretty flawless game from them again, as we've just come to expect. I feel like the supports, they're the ones to die a lot. 10 of the 11 deaths from the side of Quest, it was those supports. So they know who to give up the kills on, and they know how to wait for timings and just, they know that Aster's on a timer. They take the perfect fight around that tier 2, devastate them completely, as they were never even really behind in this game at all. They kind of kept it
they really
like within like a gold or two, maybe take like 3,000 or something and lead for Aster, maybe for like a hot second, but not even that as Quest. Yep, I mean, what do you do to defeat these guys? They just seem too damn good at understanding how to play versus this, as we just come to expect.
Yeah, I feel like we'll see Aster try a completely different strategy.
Probably.
In game 2. I mean, not to say it's necessarily going to go any easier for them because of how well Quest Esports have been consistently playing. You know, you can definitely respect why they want to go for this sort of approach against a team like Quest. If you know that you're in a matchup where the other team is looking to be on quite the run right now. You know that whatever happens, Quest is going to give you a very, very difficult game. What's the best way to deal with a difficult game? Try and make it last a little shorter. You know, get it out of the way. Try and play for the chance that you do get that lead in the lanes, that you are able to run them over before they're able to recover. But it's just something that we're not seeing. I don't think we've seen any team really be able to succeed in doing that against Quest.
No.
Trying to play this last game. Quest, they get the farm whatever happens.
Yeah, tempo lineups are also a lot about making very little mistakes. You have to play like the perfect game. You make a couple versus a team like this, they know exactly how to play versus. It's a treat to watch, as we're going to get to see it again, perhaps from Quest, and we'll see what the next game looks like.
Yeah, excited to see what Aster's different approach will be in game 2, but as for this one, Quest, no struggle at all, holding back Aster and securing themselves a very solid win here in this game 1.
It was a very narrow margin for error for Aster in that game number 1, even committing with their Leshrac at the very last pick, being like, well, we're going to Deathball. It's a Visage Luna lineup. Let's put a Leshrac on top of it, and boy, I hope we don't make any mistakes. Unfortunately, they made mistakes.
Yeah, I feel like as a carry player, when I see my mid pick, I always ask myself, do I feel like this man understands me as a carry player? And when I'm a Luna, what I specifically want is somebody who uses my right-click damage a little bit from my aura. So it could be any pseudo right-clicking mid, like we were mentioning Kunkka and DK. And what these heroes also do is they rotate to you, set up quick kills, and then go back to what they were doing. The problem with Luna Lesh is they kind of overlap. They both just clear creep waves. They don't really like rotating for ganks. They both play for their own farm, and Lesh also does a lot of magic damage, which Luna is a hybrid carry. So I really didn't feel like they gave themselves any room for error, like you said, and then they made it. So Moo, I wanted to give you a chance to tell people, like you were telling me all about the way Quest tends to play the map and made it really hard for Aster to like come back in any way this game.
Yeah, right after I predicted Aster's win. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like Quest, they've either figured out the meta or they've invented their own meta, and it just looks really solid. Like teams need to do something about it. They pick these 2 strong side laners that abuse the new expanded map, hard to kill, and they pick a rotating mid, and it's working for them every game.
Does it always have to be comfort heroes also? Because like Amar has been expanding his hero pool significantly. We saw him start to add micro heroes to his arsenal, but here he's on his comfort Timbersaw. Are Quest able to apply that strategy basically no matter what the heroes are? It's just strong side laners, then who can move?
When you're a team that builds a certain playstyle or strategy you really want to get good at, you can of course adjust the heroes, but there's always going to be limitations, as the heroes need to still fit the criterias of your draft. So I think Amar's probably going to have a solid like 3 heroes he's gonna be super good at with some backups. It's like 2 backups maybe. But he's always been a guy that they just kind of slam his hero right in the game so that he always gets what he wants.
It's not about him adjusting, it's about everyone else adjusting to
That is how it seems to be.
his heroes are gonna be very, very polarizing. Like the Brood and the Timber, what they do in the game is like they take over an area on the map and they just sit there and farm. So it makes it really hard for the enemies to play. So he just needs the right pieces, like a rotating mid, like Moo mentioned, to make things work. Because he's not gonna move, so he needs the other core to move, and he needs like supports that are really, really strong to enable him to get past the laning phase.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the coin, Brian, how did you assess XXS's itemization this game? Because I know that's something that you generally have your eye on.
Yeah, I think he was fine this game. I feel like I really do emphasize every issue I had with what Aster did was the last pick mid. I just feel like they all into plan, which this meta we've been watching. Teams will be winning at 20 minutes, and then they still end up taking till 40 minutes, even though it looked like the game was over at 20 to win the game. Like, you're not going to make some timing push that just ends the game at 25 minutes against one of the best teams in the tournament right now. So I really wish that their draft would have less redundancy and overall be willing to take it late. Like, not necessarily in the sense that, hey, it's even, both teams are going to get the farm, take it late, but once we secure the game, we can still have superior team fight or superior 5-man ball, but with all of our bases covered. The problem with Luna is when I play Luna, the opponent cores are going to have 3 BKBs. So what's the problem with picking Lesh mid? Well, he also hates the fact that they all have BKBs. So overall, like the Solar Crest, the drums, like these items on Visage, that gave them some physical damage, but it clearly wasn't enough. You just have all these 4,000 HP cores in your face.
Yeah, I mean, Visage is a really slow hero, so when you have the Primal Morph Timber, they're just doing their own thing all in the corners of the map. I have no idea as a Visage player myself how I'm ever going to go catch them. I need to go hit their buildings, which they tried, didn't work, and honestly kind of felt like the game was just downhill from there, that tier 2 bot push. Like,
which also seemed like a bit of an overextension as well.
Well, we are also, okay, so I've mentioned so much how I feel like, you know, your mid doesn't understand you, but like as a carry, my hero heavily determines what my team's going to do when we're approaching a tower push. So like if I'm like an Ursa or Slark, then hey, everyone's right for the pick, and like if you see anybody back there, let's catch the stragglers. But like if I'm a Luna, if I'm a ranged sieger, I just want to hit the building, no diving, make them go on me. We have Undying for the counter initiation. So it just looked really awkward when Sumail wrapped around behind the tower, because you could see the hesitation in Monet. You could see him being like, am I supposed to help? I guess I'm in, like my Lush is already in. And then that ends up being the not only him losing the Aegis, but they lose, I believe, all 3 cores, and
they kind of lost the game.
Yeah, the entire game just fell apart in one move.
It's a shame, but Quest are looking continuously comfortable. I bet they're probably comfortable because they're also sitting in DX Racer chairs, one of the proud sponsors of the Bali Major. If you're in the United States, you can actually use the code Bali Major to get 5% off. But as for us, I'm feeling comfortable watching all this Dota that we're having. Possibly 2 more games, maybe 1 more game if Quest has their way. Let's find out after the break. Welcome back, everyone, to game number 2, where I have to wonder, what's your top 3, Moo? I'm ambushing you with a question. We're in this tournament now. Top 3 of this tournament after seeing all these teams perform.
In order or just the top 3?
You can give me 3 teams.
All right. I think so far Quest.
Okay.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
Gaming Gladiators, as always.
Mm-hmm.
And then, what is it? There's other teams? Or
There are other teams. You want some Eastern Europe, you can have some Bet Boom if you want. You want another Western Europe, you can have Liquid.
Nah, let's go with Western Europe. Liquid, yeah.
Okay, great. This is what everyone wants to see. Another Liquid game in Grand Finals. That's never happened before. But the main thing I was trying to get out of you, it's happened 4 times. No, 3 times.
I thought we were talking majors.
Sure, majors, but Dream League also, Season 19. I'm sick of it. But the main thing I was trying to get out of you is that Quest is a top 3 contender, which is wild, and the performance that they put on here is a top 3 level performance. And you said that the blueprint is relatively simple, and yet no one can find a solution for it.
Yeah, I feel like you can't beat them, join them at this point.
Okay. Which means, so, what's the Sumail hero that would be inclined to rotate to strong side lanes?
Ember.
Okay.
Void Spirit. Anything with Spirit in the second part of its name.
Not the first, like not Spearbreaker.
Yeah, no, not that one.
Okay.
So Vengeful Spirit mid?
Ugh. I mean, I guess, yeah. But, it feels like a meta over the mid, like, there's really nothing going on mid. Like, you get the runes, and then what else is there?
Yep.
So, just leave.
Just leave.
Go somewhere else.
Get some kills.
Yeah.
Especially because I'm not really seeing mids leave and then lose their tower in the process. Because the mids who used to be okay being like, oh, the other mid's rotating, I'm gonna go take tier 1 for free. They're not very popular right now.
Yeah, think about what you gain from killing the mid tower.
Nothing.
Nothing. There's nothing there.
Like the only time I feel like teams make a move for the mid tower is literally 5 minutes, like 5-6 minutes with like an Enchantress. Otherwise, the mid tower just kind of casually dies, or it's like 15-20 minutes in and they're like, we need to kill this freaking mid tower.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact that the crucial objective of Roche and the Wisdom runes, the Tormentors, literally everything's just on the side of the map. So who gives a shit about mid any rune?
They're all on the side, yeah. I think there's a snap mid. Just calling it now.
Yeah, I really like the way Noob plays this hero. He plays it a lot in pubs too.
He's bold.
Yeah, he just he's the rotator, but he's not the initiator. He's gonna need the guy that goes first and sets him up because he's a Snapfire now. But what do you think's bold about the Medusa pick?
Yeah, Medusa and the Shower Demon. And also they're speed drafting once again. You gotta pick things up a little bit. Instant Anti-Mage ban, Faceless Void. I think we were talking a bit in the post-game, right? Like, I think that Team Aster needs to split the script.
Yeah.
Quest was just sitting back in their chairs. They're just chilling out until they hit a timing and win. Now Aster's like, nope, Medusa. We want to try that now.
So the question is, what does Quest do in order to not feel that? You know, like they've kind of said on Aster, okay, we're going to scale better. We got Medusa. Generally, I think with Medusa, you have 2 options. One is to be able to just ignore her in the fights. Like Faceless Void's a good example where you just kind of jump past the Medusa, kill everybody else, and then finish the Medusa off last. Or the other option is to like kind of poke the Medusa down, which I think they're more set up for right now.
Yeah, they got
Slot TV.
Once you have the Shower Demon, I feel like you already have a answer to Medusa.
Is it just the disruption only, or?
Yeah, you have a Medusa. You have 2 of them.
It's true.
So I think now Aster kind of needs to answer that a bit. It doesn't mean Medusa's hard countered by any means, but their Quest, they have an answer. Like, they're not too uncomfortable yet.
And the answer may not need to also even come from the carry, because we've seen these Snapfires, they right-click extremely hard when the time comes. So maybe Quest carry can... What are you pointing at me for?
I want to call something right now.
I'm listening.
So we see the Mar bans in the first round. Timbersaw,
Broodmother. Yeah.
You know what hero I want to see him bring back right now with the Clockwork?
Mars.
Razor.
Right. Yeah, I want to see some Mar Razor. I feel like in the past he was always considered a counter to Medusa, and Mar is a Razor enthusiast.
It lane's pretty decent for Sturge too.
I'm calling it right now.
The only problem is third Medusa has so much harass that maybe you can't get away with a hero that doesn't naturally buy some regen.
Well, all I know is I saw 9 play Razor,
yep.
Absolutely eat shit in lane, and then proceed to carry the game. So
there's an Ember.
There's an Ember.
He's going to leave the mid lane.
That's true.
It's going to be cool.
Someone
and he's also playing versus no stuns, so not too uncomfortable. I think the Snap Ember matchup is actually very hard for Ember, but
That's what I was gonna say.
I think they're definitely feeling what I was feeling, where they just need to
move.
They need to play their game, despite anything, right? I felt like they were kind of playing Quest's game in that last one.
So what do you do to pair with the Ember? Like teams go Mirana often, like that's like the
Skywrath?
Skywrath Mage. You want a support that enables him with some damage, makes his Searing Chains a threat.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure. Shadow Demon Clockwork supports, like I feel like these are you need to answer them first of all. Like pick a hero that actually can play against these other heroes, but also do what you're talking about with give Ember some extra damage. So
what about like a Willow? Peel people off the Medusa too.
We'll find out.
Nope, they go Mars themselves.
Nope, they just didn't pick the hero yet, so they don't know themselves maybe, or.
Sometimes you think they might even be afraid that they're going to pick Mars.
Oh, you're right.
We mentioned Mars for Quest, so
could be the 9th pick. Well,
let's go! Sorry.
I mean, you just fought on. So it's
pretty sick.
I wanted to see some Mar Razor. I was literally like, I got Razored as a Medusa in a pub.
He must know the answer to the problem I said. Just like, if he can fix the regen, I think it's a really good pick.
Okay.
So, and he's an expert, so he's gonna drink their milkshakes. That's for sure.
That's really funny because you guys mentioned Mars as like the Mar hero that they would likely pick. So Aster was like, "Oh, we gotta take this shit," and then Mar was like, "Ah, I got them."
So then, what is it about the Clockwork that tipped you off that like, oh, Razor now looks?
It's like a melee 4, so it's similar to how. Like, yeah, the Shadow Demon could be 4, but I personally think Clock, Razor just cover a lot of each other's bases, and then most of the carries that Razor's bad against in lane, which are also good against Clockwork because you can get out of the cogs, are already banned, actually. We see Morphling ban, Faceless Void ban, Anti-Mage ban. Those are actually 3 of, like, the worst matchups for Razor. So, like, it's just one of those things where there wasn't any other option. They're going to be against Medusa carry no matter what. So now he's got an easy link target. I feel like this guy's job is to literally link the Medusa every fight, and it'll allow his team to just
ignore her.
Ignore her, exactly.
You'll have 2 illusions that aren't losing their damage, and they'll have a Medusa that has no damage. So something needs to be done. Maybe they switch this to like an off lane or something. I'm not sure. Like the Medusa's a little too countered.
I would really like something like Willow for Aster. I think it's so important that their last hero. I mean, first off, it synergizes really well with Mars, but also I'm really thinking like get them off of me as Medusa. Like you just need to buy me some time, break these spells. It's either that or a bunch of Force Staffs. I wouldn't be surprised if Monet goes for a Hurricane Pike somewhat early in this game, being against Clockwork.
Baboka also played some Disruptor, so if you want Razor to get off the Medusa.
I feel like Disruptor doesn't want to be defensively glimpsing people.
I'd really like them to see them, like, instead of trying to fix the Medusa's problems, like, pressure Quest in some way.
Take a stronger support like Rubik.
Yeah, something to...
Kill threat, Skywrath.
Yeah, something to make them feel scared, because it feels like you're just trying to give the Medusa a game, but, like, is Medusa going to actually, like, carry this game if you even help her? I'm a bit questioning of this.
Yeah, why not just enable the Mars? So the Mars is actually doing something across the map that forces rotations out there, so your Medusa can get a game.
Yeah, that I think that would be more something I would suggest if I was in Aster's position here. The best way to get the Medusa a game is to keep attention away from her, not try to like keep her in the game like by dodging a Razor Link or something.
Yeah.
Quest bans out the Lion and the Techies. Skywrath is still in the pool. The Willow that you wanted is still in the pool. Also, Io is still in the pool, which was something that Baboka ran earlier as well.
I'm really digging the Willow. Oh, they go Mirana. And we're coming out with a nice PL pick here, boys.
Another prediction by BSJ. You mentioned the Mirana.
Yeah, I mentioned it. Oh, wait, I mentioned that earlier. Yeah, you're right.
Ember
on
Mirana
fire.
Classic.
I am. But I'm really feeling the PL.
But I like this because it can set up for it can help the Ember and the Mars actually do something around the map, which hopefully gives Medusa more space than just kind of chilling here. TA.
Well, the guy's name says he's going to pick it 2,000 times, so that's TA 2000 Classic.
I actually don't like TA versus Medusa.
I don't either.
I feel like they need to. They're kind of relying on Amar to carry this one, and the TA is more like a tempo thing.
And Noob. Noob's going to do some right clicking.
I keep forgetting.
They do have a lot of right clickers. I don't love the TA pick, but I know it's like one of his specialties. He's literally advertising it. I mean, I think Quest is the better team. I was really hyped about the Razor. I think it absolutely owns Dusa. They don't really have best way to make... Like, Monet's not going to hard carry this game, so it's going to boil down to Sumail. And then you mentioned that Snapfire kind of owns Ember, the lane.
Yeah, it's
phase.
a 8-2-9-1 lane. It's a very, very hard lane for Ember.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically Sumail has to pull a Sumail where he wins a losing matchup somehow, maybe with a gank from the Mirana, and then he ends up making it so his Medusa is not have all the weight on her shoulders.
Is it possible, Moo?
I don't think so. I think Quest got this one.
I think so too.
Winter, give us some glimmer of hope.
Nope, I don't have. I think it's gonna be too difficult for the supports. They're gonna have to secure the side lanes, and they're gonna have to help the Ember to take the runes, and I think that's gonna be too much for them to do.
I'll let you give a glimmer of hope. What does XXS's item build on Mars have to be?
It is going to be a Blink, a BKB, and a maybe even a Force Staff.
Okay, let's see if it happens. Let's see if he can enable his Medusa to success, or if we're going to look at a 2-0 for Quest. Let's find out in game number 2 with ODPixel and Fogged.
Thank you very much, Tsunami. Yes, game 2 here, ready to go between Quest and Aster. And this time round, Fogged very much seeing a different approach from Aster, as we hope to see. You know, we're not getting kind of some Luna Undying. We're going to try and run you down and end the game. They're going to try and rally up around Monet's Medusa. Was picked rather early.
It was.
Gives Quest the chance to respond to it, of course. What do you sort of make of how good this game is or isn't for a Medusa now that we've had this draft complete?
It looks difficult for sure because of the Shadow Demon and the Razor in particular. I think those two heroes actually just make this hero's life quite miserable. So I was so happy when I heard like BSJ kind of calling for it too, because it is the Mars specialty. We've seen this. We haven't seen it as much as I think we should, and I think it's an amazing answer. I think Aster, their success has to kind of come from chaos being thrived and from how Sumail's going to do with rotations with Baboka. I'm going to be looking at Baboka's movement a ton this game to see how much he's going to be able to dictate to kind of get them rolling. Because yeah, this just does not look like a game which Medusa is going to solo carry. There's just going to be these annoying illusions. There's going to be this Razor constantly sitting on top of you and just getting all of your damage. So let's see what they're going to be able to do. Does not look easy. But one thing, I guess the one like good thing is that the TA matchup overall versus the Dusa can, of course, be pretty okay versus the Dusa if the TA doesn't get too far with it.
Sure. I mean, yeah, what do you sort of think led Quest to finish their draft with the TA? What do you think they saw with it this time?
Probably just likes just what he's playing up against in the lane. Probably feels he's going to free farm and he's just going to be able to sit back and be that ancient farmer while his team pressures like crazy. Because if you look at the 4 heroes that they have on Quest, they're going to be looking to play with those 4 a lot.
Yeah, it's true. Both Noob, Snapfire, and Amar and his Razor likely to get very, very active and involved.
I know TA2000 loves this. Of course, looking at his name, but I know he likes this hero in this matchup anyway too. He likes to play versus some of these strength heroes that just have like really low armor in the off lane. He just thrives off of spamming the meld onto them.
Yeah, I mean, I think we heard from the panel, right, they felt that overall kind of the matchup between the TA and the Medusa does tend to go the Medusa's way.
Sure.
What is it about this game that you feel that TA2000 is completely unfazed by the fact that there's a Medusa? Is it just that there's other answers?
Yeah, there's other answers.
Yeah.
I mean, they have like they have a tricore kind of strategy. The Snapfires should have a good matchup versus the Ember Spirit, and then yeah, the Razor should be able to do a lot once he's able to get those links going onto Monet. Let's see how the lanes go in particular, because it is an Undying backing up a Medusa, which is, we've seen, like the strongest laner. And Amar is taking quite a bit of a beating. He may actually just die to double blood grenade.
There's the blood grenade down upon him.
That was 2 of them.
He's got stick charges and Tango, actually.
Okay.
And he keeps us cool. He doesn't even need to pop the stick charges there, so Amar knows that he's fine.
And that was 2 blood grenades. That was the Medusa's blood grenade, and that was also Pichu's. So.
Yeah, I know Amar. He's going to be able to make the creeps meet here with the pull.
So he's just going to pull the wave until they feel like... Once they get static link, they're infinitely stronger in that lane level 2. And Amar, he does have a salve, so back up to full. Sumail, first wave, excellent. He actually got all 4 last hits. Was able to put it under the tower of Noob.
We saw the last game, Sumail did have a very good lane, but not quite enough for him to be able to recover sort of the state of the game for the team.
This game feels like it's hard mode. Like, this is hard mode, and Sumail has to really be able to feel that, how much he's going to be able to do for his team.
Yeah, bottom lane so far.
This is impressive, though. I'm just staring at mid. Sumail's gotten level 3 really early, so he's got level 2 Flame Guard to deal with the harassment that comes out from Noob.
See if he's able to keep ahead in this matchup.
I mean, these waves are the hard ones, like, for sure here, so... An excellent start there from Sumail. 1000. I mean, he should be pretty fine here. And we're going to see how much Baboka does with his rotations. I'm looking forward to see how much he does move around with these arrows. Does have kill threat.
Top lane.
Who's going to get the healing Lotus? That's kind of what I always feel like is the end. What's the biggest thing I always look at when it's these Medusa lanes? Do you get the healing Lotus versus Medusa? No? You probably will kill her inside the laning phase. Yeah, so far Monet, first few waves looking pretty good. 12 and 6, 8 and 4 also only on Amar right now.
Yeah, Pichu's been doing a good job of just keeping Amar back, not allowing Amar to ever find the opportunity to step up and link the Medusa.
Yeah, Blood Grenade's actually quite nice to prevent Razor from getting static links and stuff like that too. A little bit of extra slow. Omar, considering like he wants to maybe try to go aggressive, but Amar's still slightly low and they will get the healing Lotus on their side.
I mean, never easy to play the lane into the Undying on these early levels.
Healing Lotus.
Doing a good job.
I think these two heroes are some of the strongest healing Lotus heroes too. Undying gets so much out of it. Medusa, of course, just amazing, crazy, incredible amount. Monet has 10 denies.
They're holding the lane super nice up top.
Perfect positioning. They're not really allowing Amar to use his static link almost at all. Probably, I mean, on Quest they're maybe waiting for like level 2 static link before they get aggressive, but I mean, Aster's just going on Amar right now.
See if he's able to live this time. It doesn't look like it. Tombstone's down, and Monet on top of the free farm. He'll get first blood in this lane.
I mean, Pichu's doing incredible stuff up here as this Undying, gonna just zoning the two of them to, yeah, not let Monet get. I thought he was gonna get linked like 2 or 3 times here, but he hasn't actually not gotten linked at all up here. Good start for Aster.
There's been absolutely no slowdown at all for Monet.
And Sumail too. Like, it's still pretty much dead even inside the mid lane there for him versus Noob.
Yeah, we've definitely seen some Snapfires get the sort of the better hand against the Spirits in the 1v1s. Not the case here. Sumail doing fine.
Not slowing down TA2000 though so far. He's got his boots. He's going to be rushing his treads.
I'm going to try, again, just with the harassment of the setup, onto XXS, TA2000 in with the meld hits. Good damage trade. XXS is out of regen as well in this lane. What's he got coming out? And the courier has got a salve prepared. So.
Nice play from Baboka. He actually played on top of the Shadow Demon, so didn't let Kaori walk up and get more stacks up. Omar, still only level 2, so level 3 Battery Assault, not quite online yet to be able to kind of protect and zone this Undying to give Omar a little bit of an easier time. Difficult for them to take advantage and slow down this Medusa's farm so far here. Omar does get the snag now though, has a point in Cogs, level 2 Link is online. Tombstone does drop down though. Enough damage!
Got the plasma field, it's not enough to kill Pichu.
The healing Lotus.
Gonna be fine, Omar's gone. Amar, he'll try and turn, but he... Okay, Kaori should be able to finish up Pichu, comes in across the gates and is able to take him down.
Omar once more, they're gonna get the illusions made.
A little off with the timing though, between the disruption of the plasma field. I mean, even if it hits, they just don't have damage to get through Monet and his full mana. And pretty much 15 charges on a wand if necessary.
Sumail killed Noob. By himself.
Well, there you go.
Holy crap. I mean, they said it. Sumail had to pop off. I mean, this early game is ridiculous from him. Pretty much dead even versus that snap and even getting a solo kill.
Yeah, great start across all lanes.
I don't think I've ever seen an Ember Spirit solo kill a snap.
I mean, against a noob snap as well, it's one of his hottest heroes, really. He was one of the guys who started playing noob snap mid first.
Yeah, even before it got universal or anything like that. When there were small camps in the mid lane. It was like a long time ago. Super nice start. And we saw, of course, that healing Lotus coming into play in top lane too. They eventually did bring down the Undying, but he was able to survive so long here. Still continuing to keep this really good free farm for Monet. Could even potentially back up and start getting some stacks for him too, since he's had this really good start up here. Quest in position to steal double wisdom though. Kaori already in his prime spot to take that one away. And yeah, Baboka's not going to make it over there in time. Looks like XXS maybe he's going to try, but there's a disruption.
We'll get the spear off, but indeed the disruption is going to last a little bit longer.
He kills it.
He feels that he wouldn't have been able to step up and take it. Opts to deny it. I think he could have maybe gone and grabbed it.
I mean, you'd have to like, yeah. I think maybe he could have too, but either way, I mean, they get one and they don't get, Aster doesn't get the other one.
The job's still done.
Job's still done.
And maybe it was aware that both
Yeah.
might have been around to leap in and pick it up first.
With this early good start that he's had, he can actually make rotations. He doesn't even need Slight Chains. Level 4 Slight. He's got the Orb of Corrosion already finished up, so he's able to chase him out there.
It's a very promising start for Samao.
Yeah. And Baboka hasn't even had to make the rotations toward mid. Static Link. This time it'll hurt Monet quite a bit there, but he does have the wand charges to fresh himself back up.
Coming in with the ball charges for Noob.
Yeah, Monet up to a hot start. What, 500 ahead of the TA at the moment here.
They're considering going for Noob there. They quite want to commit with the tombstone there from Pichu, but he didn't think about it. As the runes go, yeah, shield rune for Samael. And full phase boots on his way out. So,
and now he's got a point in the chains too, so now he can actually be that setup for Baboka to maybe catch some rotations too.
yeah, they've got to be very aware of the fact that Samael's having this solid start, Quest Esports. They've got to be prepared for the ganks from this Ember Spirit. They're going to hit hard.
Even the Razor, like even Amar is super fragile at this point versus this Ember, so yeah, all of them do have to be cautious. Amar. Level 6 now is online, so they're going to look to get aggressive up here, Quest. Found the Undying, they isolate him pre-Tombstone, he can't get it down.
See what they can do though with XXS here, maybe find some turns. Not quite able to catch Amar.
Kisses are here.
He's out of the arena, and indeed, Monet's got to back away. The mana's gone, he'll put the one charge in, it won't keep him alive.
Oh, a better gank.
And a big kill as well, Monet gone.
And they're set up, Sumail, he makes his way up here, gets a slight chains, but he can't do much of anything. Marzel not quite connecting on the Razor, and Noob just an instant TP, no hesitation whatsoever. Monet does get brought down.
It's a painful hit there for Aster.
Tier 2000 looks like they want to try to punish him down here.
Samael. On
They
top of
should
it.
have him.
Tier 2000 will try and turn and take Baboka in return, but won't get it. Baboka's out, and indeed Tier 2000, he's going down. Samael picks up another kill.
Give him every kill. Make sure this Ember is as enabled as
Back
possible.
up top. They're collapsing in onto XXS.
He's found.
And over the focus down bottom, there's going to be no TPs coming in to bail XXS out of that one. So Quest push forward, they take the kill. Now they'll look to try and take this tier 1.
And back to business they go. Even though Monet had that amazing start, needs Sumail.
He's got mana as well with the one charges. Noob could be in trouble.
He's asking
Pops the
for
one,
help.
pops the bolt charge. He's in under the tower. Samael, he's going to be taking another surely sleight of fist. It's there. Samael dominating.
I mean, he's doing so much at this point. 4 kills right now for Sumail. Javelin's about to be online. Keep setting him up for all the
double
runes.
damage rune
Oh,
for
yeah.
Samael.
Send him to the top lane, perhaps, as well.
Oh, this Ember Spirit's looking pretty hot.
Ember Spirit's definitely looking hot. The Deuce still has its problems though in this game versus all these counters. So
You see,
it's
you
important that Sumail
can
has
feel
this.
it in the way Samael's played.
Oh, yeah.
Ready to rectify any problems that his team has.
I mean, DD Rune is a good way to kind of get things to continue going for him here. Javelin's on its way. Noob TP's in the mid lane. They're gonna maybe look. Oh, they actually find a stack. Are they gonna? Can they actually go for this clear? I don't think they can. They want kills.
You just want to get kills as this Ember. You don't want to waste time hitting Ancients, even if you have a DD. They get this chain set up onto Omar. Tombstone's going to be dropped down. Omar, he's out.
Deleted. Sumail wants more. We'll find a courier.
That was quite a stacked courier as well. Had the walls of clarity smokes and a full wand on for Omar.
Look, it's Sumail just wants to get these lights on people. Force the link, jump away. He's going to keep applying that pressure up here.
Yeah, he's got that sort of early game momentum that you'd hope for Samael.
Yep, they've got the catapult wave up here too. Kaori.
He can go again with the slight change. He's got the catch onto Kaori. Arrow will be dodged by the disruption.
See you later.
But, he's still very much dead. Another kill for Aster. As Samael continues to force the issue.
He's pushing the limits, really. Keeping himself with a defensive remnant and just continue to spam. Keep these supports low. Keep them at bay. Really nice stuff so far from Sumail. As they need him
They
to.
could maybe go for a march. Samael gets the change.
Should be able to get the chains.
Stepping up. Setups there. Arrow connects.
Get the angle.
He's getting beaten down by the Ancients as well here. As another catch. Set up by the Ember Spirit. Samael looking to be on quite the roll right now. 4-0-3. They're going to take this top tier 1 quest. They've got a bit of a Samael problem this game.
They sure do. And the thing when Aster's playing like this too, they're focusing attention up here, right? So look at Monet. He's able to go to triangle, get that farm going, keep himself at the top. Still, like we said, he's going to run into some issues versus like these counters, but yeah, Sumail playing pretty much perfect there, and he's even gonna...
Is he going to get the power rune? He won't get the power rune. but he may get a kill. Do they have to take? They don't. Okay, Amar's able to get away, and also has the backup of both Noob and Amar around this point, so they're not going to be running into that one, Aster.
Nice try, Amar. Tried to fill up the bottle of Noob, but I think he actually didn't get into his inventory, so it does stay empty. Both mid laners empty bottles. Atos finished on Noob. Has that extra little bit of catch to perhaps try to trip up Sumail, who's been just having a perfect game.
Whilst this is happening, Monet's farming perfectly fine. 70% though, of course, from TA2000. He's been sort of keeping his himself out of trouble, avoiding these fights and making sure that he continues to rack up the goal.
It looks like we're going to have a fairly close one, though, kicking off here. It's going to be these crazy carries versus each other. It's not going to be a stomp either way. It'll be a pretty exciting one. We have lots of team fight, tons of stuff that can happen in the mid game here.
Your Cash Pichu Noob's not going to hesitate on just dropping down the ultimate, get the quick kill onto Undying.
Don't blame him. Top tier 2000 setting up here for a push here. XXS
does have Arena if he wants to try some sort of setup. It's actually going to be Corey that sets up onto him, holds him back with the disruption. They're just trying to focus and finish off the tier 1 tower. XXS still stepping forward, but will get completely kited here as they drop down the Demonic Purge and make sure that Corey and tier 2000 can back off safely.
playing it careful. They just don't want to make sure he doesn't get like a deny or anything like that. tier 2000. Getting closer and closer toward his death zone. They did, I believe, block the far left Ancients when they made that aggressive move there from Aster. So at least preventing some type of farm from this TA who's looking to recover. And yeah, Sumail. Pretty damn good timing that's going to be coming out for his Maelstrom when he's been versus Snapfire. But Noob still keeping himself pretty much even there.
It's keeping up. It really is. Yeah, on par with that. And BKB coming out next after the Atos.
Okay.
Making sure that it's no longer an easy effort for Sumail to just jump, Snapfire, and destroy him with the magical damage. With the BKB, when that's out, it's no longer going to be a kill that Sumail can quickly take down on his own.
Yeah, I don't blame him actually doing that, since there's going to be it's going to be the Mars blinking on you and the Ember kind of jumping you at the same time. So yeah, I don't blame that he's just going to probably rush that BKB early on. Double Wisdom Runes quest, they will be able to set up for those, so they do take those away. But Aster looking to play more aggressive rather than focusing on getting back there. They're actually setting up for mid tower.
Yeah, they're trying to bait a bit with Monet, as Monet's going to step up to push the tower.
He's got full Manta.
See if this gets any response from Quest. Do they fall for this bit of a bait from the Medusa?
tier 2000 at risk of dying for sure if he steps over.
I think they know this is going on though. They're playing it careful. Nobody's coming up to this tower from Quest. They know what Aster's up to. Sumail's going to go for the quick TP top. No, there's nothing more to be played for around that mid lane.
The fact that Amar is slowed down quite a bit this game is the reason that this tower mid is able to fall like this. If he's having a better time on the Razor, then ideally that's where he wants to go, right? As this Razor. But now it's like, he's so fragile at this point, being slowed down. Yeah, they just have to give up that tower, and they're even going to have to give up Omar's life.
Making sure as well to get Sumail the kill there. Nice hold back from Pichu. Just continue to funnel everything into this Ember Spirit right now when it comes to the kills.
And now they've got Blink on Mars, on XXS, so can definitely continue to look for these type of plays here around both of these cores. Two supports play naturally around them and just continue to give space for Monet. Getting good timings, and he's got that butterfly queued up. TA 2000 definitely probably knows that this timing, as we've seen so many times with these Medusas, this itemization is very natural, so we'll see what they look to actually do to perhaps answer it. It's top, they're actually setting up onto the Mars here. Gonna commit kisses. Doesn't look like it.
Ooh,
nice arrow.
Yeah, it's gonna catch Corey by surprise there, coming in from the high ground into the spear. Get Cookie forward. Now Noob will turn with the kisses. See if we can maybe get some of the supports. Trying to get the connections onto Pichu. Pichu heals up with a soul rip. He's able to dodge the last few blobs. And Noob will not find anything in return for losing his Shadow Demon support.
Aster making hot moves. They're reacting nicely here too. Just quick little move. Kisses don't end up catching much of anything there, and they still have Arena at the ready if they want to go for something else. Sumail was even swinging over. So Noob, it's good that he actually makes the move, otherwise he could potentially get set up on also.
Yeah, Omar's going to want to do his best to not show his face here. XXS will be immediately on top of him. They'll get the push going in.
Monet's going to have a very fast timing on this butterfly. I'm looking to see if TA 2000 adapts in any way.
I think XXS is considering going on this. He's
sure
going to go
is.
for it.
Cookie, oh!
The mark though. Cookie's going to be there in time. He's able to jump over before the spear comes through from XXS. Noob, he's perfectly fine.
They just wanted to pull him far away from the tier 2, I guess, but yeah, ends up whiffing.
4K lead now here for Aster. Sumail rejoining them on this top lane.
Hook shot is on some illusions. Whoopsie.
It's just that. Maybe, yeah.
Bit of a slip up there.
Maybe felt that there was a chance that one of them was real, but it's not the case. Monet's perfectly safe, farming it on his Ancients, and Eagle Song close to the butterfly.
Yeah, I keep on checking TA2000 if he's looking to switch up the item build at all. Right now, he actually buys the shard early, so it looks like he's trying to be a bit more annoying for the Mars and for the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, I imagine he'll still go for the standard, but Link, so the Dragonlance, and then the Ember.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. As Amar,
they'll catch him in the arena.
He'll get caught again. Still no BKB onto him. Aster getting quite a bit of momentum here.
And with quite some scary course to back it up.
Scary course and potential Roshan kind of snowball plays here with an Undying and a Dusa going Butterfly.
Yeah, this Butterfly is going to be super fast. Way faster than any sort of item can come out from Quest. That can respond to this and deal with that.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Waiting perhaps for a little bit more of that, waiting for that timing in particular for Monet before they really look to go for that Roche here. Undying Flesh Golem also was used before, so maybe he can't actually go for it. TA2000, as we said, Deso is done, so they actually might be the ones to look to potentially set up for the Roshan themselves. This could be a pretty heated kind of battle here. Does Amar have BKB? He doesn't, so probably doesn't want to get involved. So Aster, feels like their team fight's quite a bit stronger if they rally with the Deuce up here.
I mean, absolutely. Aster
if they have the Deuce.
Team fight any day of the week, and I think Quest know that. They're kind of pulling back themselves.
Yeah, definitely is not easy, because Monet can just TP over. Swinging away. TA2000 is under vision.
They could try and chase this Aster.
Nah, they see them. The sentries on top of Somil. So that does give away the fact that there is a shard, though, on the TA, so TA2000 does show that he does have that versus Sumail. He's going to continuously rocket that Roche pit to just keep that scouting going.
Definitely more so again this time around, where Aster, they don't mind doing a little less than they kind of do last game. And Monet's pushing out pretty far.
This could be a dangerous position for him to be in.
He's going to stick around for some camps. Let's stick around for the small camp.
Okay, the whole team's coming. All right, there we go.
Here we go. The rest of Aster, Pichu, Sumail.
Omar's hunting
to help out.
Can't get the catch. Aster, they're going to chase forward now.
It's time to run for Quest.
Sumail get a grab here. XXS is looking. Not quite able to get anybody here. But Monet, at least, will be protected.
Sumail could still go for this.
Yeah, he's going to poke. Try to force some BKB, perhaps. Can't go forcing.
But able to force them out of the high ground.
Success, he's considering jumping in. Can't quite.
DD rune at the top.
A nice one.
It's not going to be able to grab it. Yeah, TA2000 will pick that straight up. We'll be still going for the BKB first before any sort of MKB, so just making sure that he can survive. And obviously killing the Medusa's going to be a very difficult task of how far Money is, but
it's Roche time. I mean, for Aster, it's time to go into the Roche pit. You've got absolutely everything at the ready. So, I mean, Quest, they're going to smoke and make the move over. They have double BKBs. See what they find here.
It's a hard fight to take.
The kisses are very good around this area if he's able to get them off fully. See if what XXS is able to grab.
They're gonna arrive in time, so they will get a chance to try and jump this.
Uh-oh.
As we see, Quest.
Hello. I think we're all lagging. It's not just me. It's them as well.
Bogged, what did you do?
It wasn't me, I swear.
A little bit of lag. They've lagged towards the pit, but...
It was all of us, yeah.
At least it was now, and not after the fight started.
God, that would have been horrible.
This was the good time to get the lag out the way.
Okay, let's look at the angle. DD's ending on the TA. Sumail is in prime position to kind of break any type of movement that comes in. Sumail going a cool build, too. He's got Halberd. So versus that TA versus Razor, this is actually a really cool pickup rather than going for just his own, like, you know, Kaya build with his Kaya Sanj. Yeah, it's actually really cool. Because he's being kind of this, like, he's done the heavy lifting in this early and mid game just to be that big annoyance, but now he's taking this step back and he's like, yep, Monet, I've enabled you. It's your turn to carry, my friend. I'm getting a halberd on Ember Spirit, so it's on you, my friend. Let's see, is Amar going to be able to get a big link off? That's going to be the question. Can he actually stick onto the Medusa? Is he going to just die during it as well, too? There's quite a bit of damage, so
I guess the question is, does XXS himself need to get the BKB, or can he also just go straight for a halberd? Like, he's holding onto the gold. Does he need a BKB that badly this game as a Mars?
I don't I don't mind it. I don't think
Okay.
you should. I don't think you need to really deviate
Sure.
too much.
And you think kind of having one halberd at this stage of the game, that's already going to be good enough.
He can go for it after
Yeah.
if he really feels like it, but I feel like you just. I think I only want to see Mars do the same build every game this tournament. I think I just want to see Blink, BKB, Shard, Hex/Refresher, something along those, depending on what the game calls for.
Just holding off until solve themselves.
Is there another way? Is that trying to click? Where's Baboka's courier?
What is that voice line?
What was? I didn't hear anything.
I drink your milkshake.
You never heard that one? That's Razor's. That's his level 31.
What is he talking about?
I have no idea, but he
What
says
has that got to
I
do
don't
with
know.
Razor?
I don't.
Am I missing some sort of joke or something? I drink your milkshake.
Maybe some type of. Let's look up the lore.
What's that got to do with Thunder?
Where's Avery? Avery probably knows.
Avery would know.
Avery would definitely know.
He
Let's see.
would
I
know.
drink your. I mean, it's from a. It's from.
Oh, is it like a quote?
I mean, it's from a movie, right? But
oh, it's a movie.
I know it's
quote.
from There Will Be Blood, right? But I don't know what that has to do with
Razor.
With Razor. Right? Like that. Of course, I know where it's from, but I
So
just don't know
it's a movie.
why it's a
So,
Razor.
there you go.
quote.
What does it mean?
No, what do you mean? You cannot
He's
stop.
saying you cannot stop me.
But what does that have to do? I guess with Razor it makes sense because you can't stop him and he
Maybe he's just he's a movie buff. Razor enjoys his
movies. That's
no, I guess so. Yeah. And maybe he just likes milkshake.
True.
You know, maybe
Possibility.
he just enjoys a good milkshake.
But I hope we don't get another 30-minute pause like we had earlier, guys.
Whoa.
Sorry, everybody at home.
Well, we should be.
They're saying go, so
Yeah,
I
let's
think
go.
things are a little bit better here.
It's okay. What's a little bit of lag anyway?
Okay, lead. Aster. Fully set up around the pit here. Is that a... Okay, now I get to actually check on items. Actually, where the hell is Mirana's courier? Okay, Lotus Orb is being delivered right now on Baboka as well, too, during the midst of this fight.
Okay.
Okay. If he can Lotus the Dusa, too, that's just an answer for the Static Link as well, too. You just have to get it on this Dusa as well.
Oh!
Hook shot.
They're going to catch XXS on the back lines. They're trying to get rid of the Mars. They're going to step out of the pit. Mone's in with the Stone Gaze.
They got him.
They got him. But it does cost them both their lives.
it cost
TA gets
TA.
destroyed. As he has no chance in this fight. They've got to retreat now. Corey's not going to get the chance to. Double kill for Monet. It was always going to be a tough fight for them to enter into. They didn't start it off badly, right?
Not bad.
A hook shot into the trees, catching XXS. You feel that'd be a good way to start the fight for Quest. It just wasn't good enough.
They got on the TA.
Check this out,
I
the
think
replay.
I think the Stone Gaze clipped him, right? I believe. And then he just is able to just stand there
he's,
and hit
he's
him.
up on the high ground, right? TA2000 trying to attack from above, and indeed,
I think it did.
I think he must have just got frozen. He was,
Yeah.
he was trying to help focus to take down XXS, which they do, but cost them their life. And into the pit they go. Aster and Aegis is in the hands of Monet. 9k lead. This time round, Aster very much hitting all the timings and beyond the timings, really, to be able to take this game home.
And so far, pretty much the entire 20 minutes of this, the concerns of like the Shadow Demon and the Razor not really proving to put up much of anything versus this Deuce. Of course, the Shadow Demon will still have its merit as the game progresses over and over again, but the Razor is definitely starting to feel like it's falling a bit flat on its face. They're starting to have more and more answers. Yeah, I don't even think they... Okay, they do have one 4-step, but they have this Lotus Orb that you can just throw the Lotus onto the Deuce, and then he can't actually use the Static Link as effectively, so...
And he's going to get his own force as well, Monet, right? He's getting the Dragon
the
Lance
Pike.
into the Hurricane Pike, another answer to the Razor, to the Clock. I mean, even keeping the range advantage against TA.
Yeah, I thought we were going to see the Razor actually put quite a bit more pressure onto him in the early game, but it never has really happened whatsoever. Aster.
Yeah, I mean, it's just sort of the tried and tested duo, right, of the Undying Medusa, having P2 in that lane. It really shut down Quest from being able to achieve much at all against Monet in the early game, in the early lane. This Medusa had free farm from minute one.
She really did. Blood grenades plus decay. Too much for a Razor, I guess. Now it's Scout continuing this push, rallied around the Dusa.
Yeah. And we see with Tier 2000, he's really got his hands full. He's got the BKB queued up, he's got the MKB queued up. Corey.
He's been found.
He'll get caught outside of the base. Boca will take that. And money towards the Halberd Fund.
Not the illusions that he wants to make. It's a support Mirana, not a Medusa. Push continues. Sumail with a literal flawless game, Owen. 5-0-6 from the lane till now.
And and in a lane matchup that can definitely be a bit of a trick.
Can be.
It was not this game for Sumail at all. Got that solo kill, and ever since he's been unstoppable.
Top. Omar finds XXS, but it's actually XXS who finds Omar.
Yeah, he'll have to
He's
drop
got
the
back
arena.
up. Almost just kills him actually by himself. Arrow won't connect, but they've got the leap, they've got the Star Storm. But Domar's actually getting out, just kidding.
Right, never mind. Not an easy kill at all. See ya.
He's like, all right, Mars ult on cooldown, team.
All right, job done. Job well done there by Omar.
All right, that was nice.
Quest, they are down 9k. It's a difficult game. Not an impossible game, though. We've seen Quest make quite some comebacks.
It's still difficult because the overall core-to-core matchup, right? The TA versus that Dusa matchup, especially with them not able to get any type of slowdown onto the Dusa. So I feel like Kaori's illusions are actually just going to be the best thing now to deal with this Medusa at this point because of how big she really is.
Sure. I mean, what do you think the way is going to be for TA2000? Does he get the BKB or he has to take the risk to go for sort of the more glass cannon, have the MKB first, just so they have some sort of way of threatening Monet in the fights?
Unsure. It might just have to be the BKB, but we'll see. I mean, the push, Aster's just going to force it. So let's see if Quest can actually hold them off and slow them down by any means.
I mean, they've still got, what, nearly 2 minutes left on the Aegis for Monet.
They don't have the lens on the Shadow Demon just yet, do they? So he doesn't actually have good cast range to even get the disruption onto these illusions. XXS even just blinking in, bodying a little bit here with the Bulwark. The tower's dropping.
I mean, they're pushing 2 towers here. Sumail's going for the top wave as well. Really getting the pressure in onto Quest, trying to force some sort of response. The mid-tier 3's gone.
Kaori he cannot walk up and make illusions. He's scared to just get set up on. Big wave is going to get cut.
Mono's looking to finish off this melee racks before the backdoor protection kicks in.
Okay, he is going to get some illusions made. These are strong ones.
Backdoor protection will kick back in. Mono not able to get the racks for now. Next creep wave is coming in, so Aster unlikely to be going anywhere. It's just Quest Esports support trying to slow down this push as much as they can.
Okay.
The racks will be taken. Next big iron pickups are being done. Amar's now got his halberd.
Let's see
and
what they can do.
TA2000 has the BKB.
Lens done also on the Shadow Demon, so he can actually cast his spells from a certain distance, and this might be the big go that Quest has to go for here, Monet.
See what they can find with this. They get the setup first with the disruption. Already though, XXS in return jumps and it completely blows up Kaori. Does mean he's being caught pretty deep himself.
They're gonna full
XXS
retreat.
will die for that.
They're leaving him. Trap though, connects onto Sumail.
Good kisses as well. Sumail's getting low. And turn with the Sleight of Fist. He's got the Remnant. They're able to turn with the Soul Rip. Peachy gets the kill on Omar. Sumail will live.
Oh my, Omar died in seconds. Sumail able to get himself out of there. Looked close for a second, but able to step away. Halberd, that's status resist.
It's a defense at the end of the day by Quest.
But an expensive one.
Have to use the buyback on Kaori and Aster. They don't lose too much, just losing XXS off the back of that. It was a pretty wild play by XXS, going in pretty deep for that jump.
But they recognize they just reset and run away, right? As long as they don't lose more, it's fine if XXS dies there for everybody backing up. And Sumail, now, I mean, again, he's taking the bit of that back foot. It's an E-Blade, but it's just like, you know, it's not really like I'm going to be killing so much as I'm protecting and just being this nuisance and annoyance so that Monet can do this carry job.
Yeah, it's smart. I mean,
I like it a lot.
Sort of the lead that Aster have, you know. Sumail knows the only real threat, if there is any coming from him anyway, it's TA2000.
Nope.
Between the Halberd and the E-Blade, he's going to make TA2000's life very, very hard. Bottom lane Noob gets caught out, and Noob out for 50 seconds. Spent up on the 4 stuff, does not have buyback available. So the creep waves coming down the mid lane and the bottom. At least this tier 2 should be going down, and maybe even more. Aster, they could be ready to go high ground again.
Feels like it. I think that is that the full MKB? It is. I think this is actually Monet building an MKB to deal with his own illusions, if I'm not mistaken, right? He just wants to be able to clear him out. They want to end this.
As you said, that's sort of the biggest threat.
His only threat is himself.
So the MKB will be the answer.
Amar's going to try. This is the last hurrah, it feels, for Quest, perhaps.
20 seconds without Noob.
Success.
Tries for the jump in. Get the catch. Just coming out from Monet. Amar, he gets caught by the stun.
He's gone.
He's out. As Baboka was able to sort of slide it very nicely down the side of the creep wave, Amar was not prepared at all, gets caught. As this bottom tier 3, it's being taken out. They've got
one to drop.
We've got the glyph at least, but Amar is out for 40 seconds.
They can't pose any threat onto Monet, just standing there. The illusions at this point die fast because of that MKB that he was able to purchase too.
Gotta do something soon here, Quest.
Samantha can't get the disruption off. Chains. Arrow.
It has to put the BKB TA2000 there.
That does not feel good for him.
Yeah, and even with that BKB, there's nothing they can do to stop these racks from going down. The melee racks are gone. XXS jumping in. He's able to get the arena down. They've locked in TA2000.
They got him.
Backs there. TA2000 out of the game for 70.
looks like that's going to be game 3 probably.
It
Aster,
certainly seems that way.
they can swing toward top. They're still still pretty healthy on Monet. They have any Lotuses or anything? They've got some Arcane Boots. Yeah, they're going to pass them over to him. They're going to look to close it out. Quest smoked up. Can they even find a kill out of it? All of Aster just together here. Okay, looks like they're setting up on top of the Remnants. And they actually blow him up.
Sumail?
He's going toward his team.
It's a pretty long static link, but the arrow's there to hold back him up. Sumail's going to get healed up by the Soul Rip. He's fine for now. Noob not able to get in range to finish Sumail off. Sumail backs up to the safety of his teammate.
That's Megas.
The space is there, and indeed the Megas are out for Aster.
Well, range by actually still down bottom. But either way, they call it GG. It was pretty much Megas.
It really was. GG is called.
Wow.
Aster will take game 2. And in a very impressive way as well. 23-7, 22k lead. They hit back hard after getting stomped in game 1.
Sumail, honestly, I felt like he was absolutely everything here. I think him actually and Pichu, I'll give this Undying a lot of credit because he kind of just set up success for Monet. Monet actually did not really get slowed down almost at all this game. He died the once, and then that was just about it. They bodied and they pushed this Razor to actually not slow down the Dusa at all, and then yeah, it was really the Sumail show across the board here. Everywhere that he moved, he was making the space, he was making the plays. Yeah, we get a glorious game 3 at the least. Now we get to see Aster. Maybe they're not going to go for this type of all-in kind of thing here since this ends up working so well.
This was much better. Much better from Aster. Yeah, that approach in game 1, very much kind of like a one-trick lineup, right?
Yeah.
It has to go well at the start. It has to keep going well. Otherwise, there's just not a chance at all. This time around, I think they just play with a bit more confidence. You know, I think that the game 1 draft was kind of like a scared draft. This draft was a bit more relaxed from Aster. They're ready to just let the game kind of play into their own hands and just kind of getting the core stuff. The Dusa Undying safe lane worked out an absolute treat for Aster. And yes, Sumail doesn't die at all this game. Very clean stuff from him. Game 3, who knows what's going to happen? As it stands, Aster with this game 2 victory. Keep the series 1-1 for now between themselves and Quest Esports.
Things are very important for this series because if Quest do manage to eliminate, or rather knock down Aster, that makes their chances of being able to not only win this whole thing, but then qualify to TI that much higher. However, if they lose this series, all of a sudden it becomes impossible. Because even if Quest win, it was contingent on Aster, BetBoom, or Beast Coast, 2 out of the 3, I believe, not getting top 8. And BetBoom's already top 8. Beast Coast went down. But Aster's still in the mix right now. And even with that Razor, Brian, seems like Quest weren't able to pick up the dub in this game number 2.
Yeah, looks like they didn't bring the shaving cream because the Razor didn't do its job. I saved that one for the entire panel just in case they lost. But, you know, as a panelist, it became really important over time, I realized, to always factor in the potential mid-diff problem, because no matter how much we analyze the drafts, it just doesn't matter if a lane doesn't go according to plan. And Sumail creates a lot of those, and I think it was Moo was like, how is he winning this lane? It was like minute 2, and he's like, how is he up in CS? And not only was he up in CS, he solo killed the snap, and he was still even in net worth. It just goes to show like how bad that matchup is, and Sumail still managed to have such high impact in this game. Fellas?
I mean, it's just basically that, you know, like everything else just went according to plan. Like the Razor, you guys mentioned he's going to struggle at the early game, but eventually he's going to be able to catch up. The Snapfire is going to rotate to the side lanes to counter the ganks, but you just didn't account for the Ember being that fat in the game.
He was unstoppable. This was what you specifically requested, Moo. You wanted him on his spirit. He delivered. He moved. He carried. Why don't they do this every game?
Yeah, I don't know. It looked pretty good. I didn't factor in that it was Sumail, I guess. This matchup is not supposed to be good for Ember, but he just destroyed the game. Almost, I don't think it's single-handedly, obviously, but it's definitely a big factor. I think other mid players may have not done as successful as him, and the tempo of Quest may have hit their timing a bit earlier, and not given Medusa the first Aegis, like, game might be a little different, right? But
for what it's worth, for anyone who's just now tuning into the playoffs and like, oh, Quest Esports, let's see what they're all about. Noob is extremely good. We've been seeing him dominate lanes left and right, and Snapfire is his most played hero right now. So this is just like, this is Sumail in peak form. This is not Noob being a noob. He's quite good. It's just Sumail was world class right now.
Well, he made our prediction wrong, so we're calling him a noob. But what the mid lane caused was that you mentioned, Moo, how big of a deal it is for Quest to have two strong side lane cores that are hard to gank, and it takes too many resources to deal with one of them, and then the other two are just off either counter ganking some other lane, or it gives them ample time to respond. But it's the mid lane momentum being in Sumail's favor. He's suddenly walking at top tower, and Aster makes that super early collapse with like 4 heroes, where Amar, who's supposed to be recovering and also be kind of difficult to pressure, it's not super easy to pressure a Razor that early, suddenly he's getting dove, and they're like getting, the supports from Quest TP'd in to help him, kind of tanked the gank, and then Aster just stayed there for like another minute, and Amar ends up not farming for that entire minute, and then they still kill him anyways. And I really feel like that was like the nail in the coffin at like 10 minutes, where Monet's just sitting in his triangle farming while the rest of Aster is shutting down Amar and the two supports. And that was like the exact opposite of what they needed to have.
Yeah, they just pressured. Medusa just got freedom on the map. Because how do you get to the Medusa if you have your own problems to deal with, right?
Well, at least for our time here, we're all enjoying it here. Wait for it. I'm dragging it over. Ariana Estate. The largest integrated resort in Bali, our proud host of this tournament. We get a little bit more time to burn the midnight oil here because we're getting ready for game number 3 after the break. Welcome back, everyone, to Quest's TI deciding game right now. If they lose this, there's no possibility that they'll be able to qualify to TI. Even if they win it after the lower bracket, doesn't matter. Aster and BetBoom are going to get enough points through top 8. It's not even possible anymore. But if they're able to win, and then Beastos get eliminated, and then Aster get eliminated, and then they win the whole thing, well, then we're talking. Then we're going to have 6 Western European teams at TI. Is that right?
Sounds right.
That sounds excessive.
We got Tundra, Liquid, Gaiman.
Quest.
No.
Well, no, not Quest
Quest
yet.
TBD.
Would be the 4th one.
Take your time.
It's late here.
Gaiman, Liquid, Tundra.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the other one?
Enigma Galaxy.
Oh!
Because they're making it to TI. I can love Miracle.
God, wait, who is the actual 4th one?
I don't remember.
So it'd only be. It'd only
I'm
be.
very tired.
It would. Oh wait, because there's 2 slots in the qualifier.
Yes.
Oh, I see. So that'd end up having 6 if Quest made it.
Yes.
Because they'd be the 4th direct.
That makes sense.
I was thinking there'd be 5, so I was thinking Quest was the 5th, and
Yeah, I was thinking they're not enough either. Mhm.
okay. I mean, we're 2. Yeah,
Give them 3 slots next time.
yeah seriously.
Let's have 7 Western European teams at TI.
I mean, based on the major results of this year, that's not really that far-fetched.
We'll see if next year might bring some reallocations.
Now you can have our slot, Western Europe.
Thank you.
No, give it to North America.
No, please, Western Europe. We have enough over here in A.
We have a surplus.
Yeah, but there's at least one American going. We're good.
Honestly, it's pushing the limits. It's too much. It's game number 3 time between Aster and Quest Esports. First pick, Undying, responded by a very Game and Gladiators first phase out of Aster. Io Leshrak. It's about time that we get... Well, okay, so we said that Pugna was like the gas station for the mids that Sumail would play. Io's not really a gas station necessarily. You're always linked up.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this duo is only as potent as it potentially could be in the hands of Gaiman. I also think Medusa is really nice against this duo. Leshrak, any sustain hero really sucks against Medusa because her health pool doesn't get taken down at all. So like Satanics and Bloodstones and such, you don't actually lifesteal off of Medusa, which is really annoying. She'll probably go Scotty naturally as well, one of the few heroes in the game that doesn't mind buying a Scotty, as Moo, I think, mentioned off panel. For anyone out there who doesn't know, for whatever reason, Scotty doesn't work through BKB anymore, even though it was never explicitly stated, and BKB as a whole got nerfed, so it kind of made no sense.
Scotty is a debuff, and you are debuff immunity.
Oh, crap. Is that actually how it works?
Yeah.
So it's actually intended. It's not a bug?
Yeah, but old debuffs, like, there are some things that go through debuff immunity. And Scotty formerly used to be one of those.
You would think it would work, but because if it doesn't, like, it kind of the whole point of Scotty before was it would pierce BKB, right, and kite heroes, but now it just doesn't. So it kind of has.
Do you think it's
ruined the
intended?
item.
Do you think it's intended?
I don't think it should be. If it is,
Okay.
I know I just politically, expertly dodged your question.
You
there,
did.
but-
Fantastic.
I don't think it should.
I still don't know what I'm asking here, but okay. You know, that's how well you dodged that question.
Does
I find
Deso goes,
2024?
Deso goes through debuff immunity, right?
It does.
So then, shouldn't all item modifiers, because you can get Mjolnir procs?
I think it's to counteract the balance of nerfing BKB. They don't want to nerf it too much.
I think they just don't want to go back and change the spaghetti code to fix Scotty, because somehow there's some wonky way that they recoded BKB, and now like it somehow clashes with how Scotty's coded, and then
don't listen to Brian. Valve is doing great
fantastic.
in a Morphling Rubik patch. All right, something I find really interesting about this draft is
Super interesting.
they kind of just both have their win conditions just right away. So it just feels like they need to make it work.
Yeah, but you just say that IO Lash is something that you can't play without just pinging. You need to talk a lot to make a combo like this work.
You need to draw your farming patterns on the map if you're Sumail. You need to like go this camp, that camp.
Yeah, but
that lane.
how much can you tell your teammates without talking?
I mean, I feel like it's this combo is more about the IO paying attention than the Lesh. The Lesh is like, you just kind of play your hero, and then if a Leshrak knows his limits when the IO's attached, then the IO just needs to make sure that pays attention to his own positioning according to the Leshrak, right? But from my experience, even when you can speak the same language or whatever, like it's all about the Leshrac knowing the limits more than the IO. Because if you think about it, the IO is going to attach the Lesh no matter what, but if the Leshrac is not aware of how strong he is, like it's just the IO player like kind of yelling at them to go. So it's a lot easier when the Lesh is in control, right?
Yeah, so you messed up the Sumail gauge last game.
I did.
How you feeling about the Sumail gauge this game?
We don't know the mid matchup yet,
Yeah.
so maybe that controls it.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay.
There's your out,
Do you think Noob's just gonna pick Primal again anyways?
because he did it against Leshrac and
I don't think he should. It's not a good matchup for Primal, and it's also not good versus Bats. I feel like it was one of those things where he accepts he's getting counterpicked. He'd want to just be Primal, but now that he has the vision, right? He has the knowledge here of what he's playing against. He might change it up.
Is there a Noob Quap in his future? Like, does he play this hero? Noob, I know Noob Puck's a thing. I wouldn't mind Puck here.
he has not played Quap in this tournament.
Okay, I would like Puck then, based on what I know about him.
He has also...
Boom!
Wow.
Noob Puck.
He does it again.
And now, we need a Vengeful Spirit.
He doesn't do it again.
Why are you throwing your predictions, Brian?
Sorry. It does synergize really well with what we got going here, but that hero
10
sucks.
seconds remaining.
Probably just gonna go techies.
So Quest wants to just keep the Leshrac at a range so the Medusa can slowly whittle the Lesh down, and Aster wants to try to put the Medusa out of position, right, with this Batrider pick.
Oh, they could go Disruptor here.
Or
I already
just
called
techies.
I already called techies. It's fine.
Yeah.
There's the Vengeful Spirit.
No, I said techies.
So they could pick up their offlaner here. They see the whole lane, and they see the mid as well. If I was on Aster, I'd probably ask to pick my hero here. I'm not exactly sure what I would want. You actually have a lot of options, as weird as it seems, versus Medusa Undying, because no matter what you pick, you're not really gonna crush the Medusa. So there you go. You just pick the fish.
I don't love this tie pick.
Why?
I feel like
It's good with the Lash though, I think. Like with Lash in the game, I feel like you always want your offlaner to be like some beefy frontrunner to protect you in the team fights.
I think his job here is to keep the Lesh alive as well. He's gonna buy a pipe, anchor smash the Medusa, Lesh I'll do the rest.
I'm just concerned that like they can't kill the puck.
But they don't need to kill the puck if Lash is killing everything.
I'll have you know I won a tournament game to this. I think here that I didn't have to kill the puck. I just
The ball is just about the Lash, you know. If the Lash is alive, the Lash will eventually kill everything else.
So why don't they have to kill the puck, Moo? Well, or you both seem to be on the same page.
I don't
Teach
know.
me, guys. Teach me.
I've had like 3 games this patch in competitive, either in scrims or matches.
I've had
they all mix together, where the puck actually ended with 0 deaths and I won the game. So I'm feeling like you can kind of just ignore the hero, and
I feel like if you can't kill him and he can't kill any of you, like that's fine, you know. Like you just need a pipe. Make sure he can't cut the creep waste. The creep waste is alive. You can push with the Lash, and all. That's all that matters, you know. The puck can just, you can just ignore the puck.
Okay.
It kind of goes back to what you guys were talking about in Game 1, which is why you didn't want Sumail on Puck, because Puck's a hero that requires communication. You Dream Coil, maybe it's an offensive Dream Coil, maybe it's a don't worry about these people Dream Coil. Either way, Puck is not killing anyone. You need your team to participate. And so if Puck is unchecked, still not going to kill anyone.
Yeah, I mean, they are lacking a bit of mid-game damage on Quest. Medusa obviously takes a while to come online. Undying's not exactly known as the source of damage.
they're missing the true carry.
Like, he's amping the damage, but he's not doing it.
The offlaner.
So what is the off-lane pick?
I don't know. Amar hasn't been known for his giant hero pool, so
He is expanding it.
There's no way he goes Razor.
he is busting something new out here for us. Last game of the day.
Must be some Viper.
Already
Viper gets
gone.
banned.
Ban Viper.
Oh no.
Exactly, see? You're seeing the ban list now.
Okay, I'm looking through this. I actually did not catch either of these games.
Oh, they banned Doom. Sorry, go ahead.
Quest on Amar played Slark twice.
Let's fucking go.
I did not see those games.
That is actually a very good Slark game here. It might be coming out.
That'd be sick nasty.
I mean, the idea is the same as the other heroes, right? I think he just wants to be really annoying to kill and scale well into the game. So
They banned Viper Razor.
here comes the Slark.
If they actually Slark, it sounds trash, but like I'd be down.
they won one of the games, they lost the other game.
Okay.
I mean, think about it, right? I think it makes sense as an offlaner.
I'm thinking about it.
You're hard to kill, you have a save, very mobile, have a catch ability, right? And the way you win the fights is by just making them go as long as possible. I feel like that fits a lot of criteria for the offlane right now. Maybe the laning is a little rough, but there it is.
They actually freaking picked it. Well, I mean, this hero doesn't do damage, though. Like in the mid game.
Yeah, he does.
Wait, what was his build? Did he go like Vanguard, or did he just go like Echo Saber Diffusal, like normal Slark shit?
I will investigate.
Normal Slark items.
Oh,
the Seeker.
Okay, so I would like to clarify. Can you look up Dota buff matchups for Medusa or for Bloodseeker? I know you're looking up Slark.
You're giving me a lot of things here, Brian.
Sorry, my internet's not working for some reason. So.
Okay, well, for your first question is, Amar went first item Midas against Azure Ray.
Very good.
When he offlaned, and then he went Diffusal,
Slark
Aghanim's Harpoon.
Okay, so normal items after the Midas, okay.
And then
I want to know Bloodseeker's loss percentage against Medusa, because that matchup's really bad, because Medusa's 100% HP all the time, and then she also doesn't allow you to use your shard at all, and Bloodseeker's also all about BKBing and running in, which Medusa counters.
Yes, Bloodseeker's worst matchup is Medusa, with a 7% disadvantage.
7% disadvantage.
I think the idea here is the Lesh is the win condition and the Bloodseeker's there.
Okay, pull up Lesh's
matchup
matchup against Medusa.
I don't care anymore.
Okay.
Just to give a number, people will assume it's right.
In my experience, not that bad. The Lesh can get a shard, and the Medusa just can't move out of it. Just eventually, it's whittled down.
Okay, I see. So you think they're gonna? Okay, who's kiting who here? Because it sounds like you're saying they're gonna kite the Medusa.
They're gonna try, right? And the Slark's there.
Yeah, I don't believe in this Slark. I don't know anymore. Winter, what do you think?
I don't believe in a slug. I think eventually the Lash is just gonna win the game with the Tide behind him. They don't need to kill the slug. They don't need to kill the puck. They don't need to kill anything but the buildings.
I like this. I actually kind of agree with Winter.
All right, well, let's see if it plays out that way, or if offlane Slark is going to be coming to your pub soon. Let's find out in game number 3 with OD Pixel and Fogged.
Thank you very much, Tsunami. Yes, the deciding game now here between Quest Esports and Aster, and we're getting it with the Amar, one of his specials.
One of his heroes.
One of his specials. Yep. Offlane Slark coming into play, and an interesting, I guess, last pick really from Aster. They're very quick with it as well. They get this Bloodseeker, but certain heroes, certain matchups in this game that can be pretty one-sided. Fog from the stats.
Lesh's worst matchup is Medusa. Bloodseeker's worst matchup is Medusa. So when you look at that, it's definitely a really good game for it. So I'm definitely curious to see why they saw Bloodseeker is going to be so good. I guess it must be just because, set up Sumail for success. It worked last game. I mean, Sumail definitely completely popped off last game as the Ember Spirit. So
he did.
Blood Rage Leshrac does do a ton of damage here, but yeah, as I said, just conceptually, Bloodseeker is, Rupture does nothing versus Medusa because she just stands there. Shard doesn't really do much of anything. Hero never gets low on HP, quote unquote, obviously, because your HP doesn't move, so Thirst doesn't work. And then for Lesh, problem is that you're an incredibly high int gain hero. So Medusa always has a good target to be able to snake, get restoration. And running is a Leshrac can be problematic because one thing that Lesh does hate is getting burst. So if you get caught by Stone Gaze, that can be something that Lesh can really falter versus. But hey, we'll have to say, I mean, this definitely the Slark last pick. It looks a little bit weird, but this looks like a phenomenal Medusa game.
So I think it looks like a good Slark game as well. I think
it looks like a good Slark game too. It's just weird because it's offlane.
Sure, but offlane Slark, it's really good right now. It's really good.
If Owen said that, be careful, everyone.
I think it's going to be good here, and I think you got to stop playing it in your pubs, boys.
I mean, it's definitely obnoxious.
It's good.
And also, everything else was banned. Amar literally had nothing else left. But looking at the draft, right, he's versus Bat Rider. Versus Tide. Can be some situations where he's annoying. Even just a shard can be pretty good.
Yeah.
So
and he's in a lane where, they picked a melee carry into it. So he's going to be able to trade. He's going to be able to get a bit of essence shift here and there.
But Bloodseeker overall versus Slark is a very, very good.
Sure.
Bloodseeker is literally like the hardest counter to Slark in most situations.
Sure, but I think there's going to be potential for Amar in this lane against Monet and Maboko.
In the lane, I'll have to say I agree. Especially because he has a techies behind him. I think that's one that does make it so you can actually be pretty aggressive, but now we'll have to see how it does end up going down. And we'll see how this mid matchup end up going down too, because Sumail, he really owned last game, and I felt like it was a big contributing factor to why they ended up winning that game, of how well he did versus Noob. Solo killed the Snapfire as an Ember Spirit and just rode the momentum.
Yeah, what about this top lane then? Having Pichu on the Bat Rider supporting XXS, is this going to cause any issues for TO2000 in the safe lane, or is this going to be another case of Well, pretty much the repeat of what we saw from Aster last time around, this Undying Medusa.
I think it'll be a repeat. It feels pretty free for him. It's not easy for you to commit forward. Sure, Batrider deals one of the highest damages in the game, especially like level 2, level 3, but there's an Undying. Tidehunter is a pretty good hero though overall versus Dusa as the game goes on, but in the laning phase can be a little bit difficult for you to actually slow her down too much. You can just keep her distance and get something going on you. This will be a fun one. This thing's gonna go out again. I just cannot believe it. I like how upset Brian gets. It's so funny. Brian's, Slark! I hate it! But he definitely has its merits. And they're already getting aggressive bottom, Monet. The blast off does not quite connect, but the damage is there.
It's a lot. You see, you can't trade with this Slark at the moment in the lane.
But they will get the Omar.
They get Omar, but they won't be touching Omar. So Omar's perfectly fine.
Monet get the heal up going. He should be able to with Baboka giving the extra body.
I mean,
but
Pam
Omar is
back up in a second. Yeah, they've got to
Omar.
be careful.
Yeah.
He has stick charges. Okay, just the 2 stick charges, but he will not be afraid to battle them. We're in the mid lane. Pretty even on these first few waves.
Should be a slight
No,
flash
actually,
advantage.
yeah,
but
Smel's going to have this wave coming in actually, so he's actually got about a wave CS in terms of the losses and denies a lead.
I feel like this one should just be like a very, very small-ish advantage, if anything. But as we saw, you know, Sumail playing even at a bit of a disadvantage in the last one. He just owned so hard, so yeah, we'll see. Healing Lotus, who's going to get it? They'll take it away. The Techies is able to snag it, and top they do get it as well, too. So Quest grabbing both of those always going to be important for the laning phase, especially versus an IO.
Once again in this Medusa Undying safe lane duo that we saw us have success with. This time round Quest, it's setting up for TO2000 to get very easy free farm by the looks of it.
At least you do see Pichu, he is going to be taking away at least a small camp. They're trying to with Firefly. It actually doesn't end up dying, so Kaori might be able to clean it up. Actually finds a courier though, so he does find TA2000's Gloves of Haste. And seeing X success, he is absolutely free farming up here versus that Dusa. Not slowing down the Dusa, but the Tidehunter should be able to farm freely.
Gonna make another go here for Monet on the bottom lane.
Okay. Omar.
He
might be in trouble. He's got the heals.
It's enough to force Monet to sort of back away.
Look how fast they are. 540 movement speed on these two.
They're speedy.
Baboka can go. I mean, Baboka can freely harass with this movement speed. Look how fast he just walks up and hits them. And yeah, he's hasted. 550 movement speed. Causing an issue there for Amar as Monet is securing that lane farm. He is just getting healed up to full.
Not really being able to put any pressure onto this Bloodseeker at all, on the looks of it.
He's too fast. They can't actually cast connecting blast off onto this. How do you hit a 550 movement speed hero? Really not easy. 2k lead actually off of this already here for Aster.
Yeah, I mean, mid lane starting to get quite the lead for Sumail.
Holy crap. I mean, I did not expect this, but this is important because he's also keeping the puck low HP.
Yeah, he's having to walk back to base, Noob.
Like, look how low Noob is. Yeah, Monet is just zooming because of it. Oh man, Sumail. Almost level 6 already on this side. Top, they actually get Kaori here. Put the point in a sticky to go for committing the kill, and they should be able to finishing him.
Yeah, easy knockback with the flame break. He'll drop the tombstone, but he won't survive this one.
Big heal.
One more decay off.
He's dead.
It's a bit too much for this Undying to survive. At least TO2000 will manage to hold them back and make sure that they can't farm the tombstone as well.
He drops his treads too, so the Undying, yeah, will be able to TP back to top lane and bring full treads since he did die earlier with the courier. Gloves of Haste. The good kills for Aster. Getting the ball rolling here is, I mean, XXS, he's going to have a very early Meteor Hammer because of this. Getting even involved in something here, so we'll be able to apply some pressure. Pichu is going to start getting some stacks going. Good first 6 minutes here. Monet's not feeling the pressure at all, and Baboka is able to just kind of dissuade it.
But it'll be fine. We'll see the strength of the off-lane start.
Why do you love Slark? You have some type of actual just love for the hero.
I mean, infinite scaling.
Infinite scaling.
Infinite scaling, that's why everybody wants to play a hero with infinite scaling. That's why Amar wants to play Slark.
It is correct. I feel like I just associate you with Slark so much.
It's going to be okay.
He's trying to trade back with Monet. Mar
did pounce.
pounced. Uh-oh.
He may not be okay.
He's not okay.
He is not okay. Oh,
The connection, can they get a trade?
oh, no.
Omar will get a
Get
decent
Baboka,
trade.
but not before Amar falls himself.
Nope. There is a taser, though, so Omar, he'll be okay. Pichu.
And Kaori's trying for him. He's actually going to drop the tombstone. Sumail's come across, so Pichu's going to be fine.
Kaori is very dead. Tombstone on the high ground is going to be a little annoying, though. He's dancing around it. He's making Sumail work, and he actually might make him work too much for him.
He connects the stun. That should do it. Sumail. He's also going to get topped up a little bit by Baboka.
Baboka will clean up the zombies off his friend, too. He's like, don't worry, buddy. I got you.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And the bottle. That refill is there. Lane's looking hot. And Amar, we'll see what is he going to do the Midas build again? Because I think this is the same thing that I saw happen to him one of the last times he played the Slark. The lane didn't really go as well as he expected it to, and then, yeah, he just had to go Midas recovery.
Oh, I don't know about that. Well,
you don't like it?
We'll see. The jump in, trying to abuse the fact that Mone's on his own for now, but Mone feeling pretty strong. He's got his triple slippers of agility. He's got all the stats to this lane. Ready to trade back and fight back to level 5. He's going to be hitting good time on the level 6, this safe lane Bloodseeker.
Oh, and I think he actually did end up losing both of the Slark games, didn't he?
Did he?
I thought they said it went 50-50. Did they lie to me? I was doing some checking.
Have a look.
Oh no, never mind. That was a different Slark game. They played a carry Slark game actually too. So the game that Amar did go Midas is the one that he won. The game that he didn't go Midas is the one that he lost. As that offlane Slark.
We'll see. He's holding, as I said, onto the gloves of haste. We'll see if he spends up the other components of the treads.
I think the
naked Midas.
The important thing for Quest is though that the Dusa is having that good game, right? But the Puck, I cannot believe how one-sided this is going down here. Of course, now it's the last just being able to get like enhanced and farmed, of course, with the IO at the back. But Sumail just doing incredible stuff here versus Noob's Puck.
He's on his way down bottom.
He's looking to get some extra stuff going here. He's very good hero versus Slark Owen.
It's true. A lot of damage to hit the Slark with, despite any sort of shadow dance. And
Amar,
he's waiting for him. Amar walks straight into it as they set up around their vision and they kill off the Slark.
And top tower is already starting to get sieged here a bit here from XXS. Mid-game does feel like it's going to be a little bit difficult for Quest to kind of recover. Yes, they have the Dusa free farming, but the Slark is going to want to just kind of farm, and Noob is also not in a position where he's like, I just want to sack my game to make moves around. Sumail is constantly putting the pressure onto him. Noob will have to be sneaky there with his orb. Got tons of attention. This Puck, it's not going to be an easy place for him to kind of make moves around. And I think the best case scenario right now for Quest is that just that TA2000 is farming, but I just feel like Aster have opportunities now at this point to maybe start applying even more pressure onto towers. Level 2 Edict is ready on mid, and they have this constant hammer up top.
Boca, he's ready to take him over.
Oh yeah.
Brings Sumail over to the bottom lane. Amar dead again.
Ooh, this is problematic for Quest. As good as Medusa can do versus its matchups. He's got his work cut out for him. He's got stacks.
That's a lot of farm on these cores of Aster.
Yeah.
Sumail definitely feeling good after that game 2. Lucky to continue that success here into game 3.
And he's gonna, it's not just this time, it's a Lesh with an IO and with the Bloodseeker Owen. He's gonna get Blood Raged. He's gonna be tethered up. He's gonna be dishing out that damage. And yeah, they're continuing to enable him. Look at these stacks. Baboka, another double stack at the ready for Sumail. Yeah, tough request to make too many moves around the map here because of it's a slowdown for Noob. Is Amar gonna queue up the Midas? Guess we'll still have to find out because he's so poor.
Simone. Rupture back up in a few seconds.
Look how much damage he does to Noob in just a couple of swings. Noob incredibly fragile. And the stacks start getting farmed. I mean, XXS, he already took top tower. He goes back to his stacks around his Ancients. He's cruising. Stack's gonna be formed though, Quest. It's all about making sure this Dusa gets absolutely every single one of these. And Aster, they're gonna actually look to contest here with Sumail.
Most of the farm's already been taken though, so TA2000 won't be too fussed.
They'll block the camp though. Just a quick body block there from the IO, at least to slow things down.
They won't waste their mana on trying to go for Kaori. He's coming in from Quest, bringing both Noob
Okay.
and Omar over towards the mid. But
Omar's gone for the... He's actually going to be the one to go for Vessel. I was waiting to see who's going to be that answer to try to deal with the IO Lesh snowball that's kind of starting to ramp up very quickly here. Omar needs one more creep for his 6. Okay, now he's got it. Now perhaps they do have great kill threat onto pretty much anyone. A coil plus a techies is going to kill anybody. Will Aster be ready for the movement. The other one making the first one here onto mid. Monet. To be a bit careful of his positioning here. I mean, they're drawing the line to kind of catch him as he's going to be going into the jungle here.
I mean,
might
if
actually
they
catch
get
him
the
off
Dream
guard.
Coil on him,
He's dead for sure if they get the coil on him.
Dire are scanning.
Omar. Maybe he gets the suicide first.
he does. This should be a pretty easy kill. I mean, TPs will be coming in as well as the Relika. They might lose heroes in return for it. As, of course, they get Monet. Let's see how much Aster can punish them.
Noob is also ruptured. He could be in trouble. 100 HP.
Just going to try and jump out with the orb.
TP. I don't know if they know that.
No, they're not going to look for him.
The relocate will bring them back toward the mid lane. They're going to keep their push going. So they get a kill. They lose Monet, but they're going to get a tower out of it as well, too. So Aster reacting nicely.
Yeah, Tier 2000 TP's in, but nothing to be done to stop the tower from going down. More money into the pockets of Sumail.
And yeah, Amar queues up the Midas. To the late game we go.
It's not a bad strat. It's not a bad strat in this sort of situation. I mean, you saw it yourself, right? Medusa has pretty good matchups this game.
Has good matchups.
As long as they don't fall too far behind.
Sure.
The comeback potential is pretty high.
Comeback potential
lineup.
is definitely possible. There's definitely going to be now, though. Puck has no game. Slark has no game. So now for Aster, it's going to be answering the Medusa entirely with itemization and stuff like that, too. So halberds are going to be aplenty. They have a Tidehunter already also, who's really good if he gets in the face of the Medusa. Anchor Smash is very annoying for this hero.
I mean, yeah, Aster definitely going to have to take this lead and punish Quest Esports hard with it, which has, in the past, been something that Aster sometimes have struggled with.
Yeah, it's been troublesome for a lot of teams.
Sometimes they slow down a bit too much. We'll see if that's going to cause them issues here, or they're going to be able to ride on the fact that all three of their cores have had such a blazing start.
Even their Bat Rider, he's got a Blink Dagger.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
Pichu, I mean, he's been quietly kind of farming up a storm. Now they have a way to start fights themselves also, besides just running in and charging. They actually can get these lasso plays and maybe just chain stun and kill people.
Yeah, here we go. I mean, they should know how strong they are, Aster, and they should look to use that to their advantage here, looking to make consistent plays and just not allowing this game to slow down.
No, I mean, they have so much heal threat. These two do so much damage. Even versus something like Tier 2000.
He's not going to expect this blink timing.
No.
And there it is. Jump forward. The immediate TPs are coming out. See if they can burst through him. The Ravages there. They've easily got
They got him.
2000. A very, very nice and surprising Blink Dagger reveal there from Pichu that catches Tier 2000 by complete surprise.
There's no way you expect that from the Bat Rider in particular. Maybe you expect someone else to, and oh, look at the timing as well. He's going to sneak in, grab the Wisdom Rune off of it as well. Aster. The Dream, 14 minutes right here to shut down Quest.
Yeah, let's keep it going.
Dusa's still farming though.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Well, Deuce is dead.
Well, Dusa's still, I mean, overall still.
Yeah, I know what you mean. No, yeah, still at the top of the net worth, Tier 2000. Still in a good place. A bad place at the moment, but overall a good place.
The Manta's online at a pretty damn good time. Especially since they've gotten pressured so much on all three lanes, so he's just been able to still keep himself kind of toe-to-toe there. And Amaria, Midas is done. See how he's going to recover.
I mean, he will. He will recover. No, I don't think there's any doubt about that. You give this game 10 minutes and he's going to be up there in the top three.
What is that recovery going to do, and what items is he going to go to try to make do it? I think, you just go like Mage Slayer, probably?
That's what he had queued up earlier, but I feel like you could go a bit more greedy, more carry-esque. I mean, Mage Slayer's fine, but we'll see. Okay. Either way, he's going to want to get the shard.
Sure.
I feel like you've got to enable your
Oh, Monet. This is kind of a really nice catch, kind of the dream one.
They remember the blast off. They get the jump upon him, and indeed, Monet's dead.
Very good kill.
Noob, the one to pick up the kill, pick up the gold.
He's gonna have Blink Dagger soon. He's starting to recover. Noob hasn't died.
As I said, I know it's a good start for Aster. They've got this lead, but I feel like I've seen this story before. Sometimes Aster, they just lose this early game lead.
I mean, it is Bloodseeker in his absolute worst matchup. We do have to kind of reiterate that one versus the Medusas. You know, for the people who just tuned in later on, you don't know. Thirst does nothing. Shard does nothing. Rupture is pretty useless, but...
Well, I mean, Sumail's got to carry this game.
He does. He is the real
got to carry this hard. So far, so good. 3-0-2, but they've got to keep it going. If this slows down, it's only going to get harder and harder for Sumail to carry this game out to a victory for Aster.
Yep. Blood Rage him. Make sure that he's just got absolutely everything. I think soon it's going to be a call to maybe go for that Roche play as well, too, for them. They don't really have the Undying, though, so they don't have the best ways to actually kill Roche quickly on the side of Aster. 8-3. Quest kind of looked to, I mean, they're just going to look to play the economy game.
They're
I
having a
imagine
good
we're just
time.
Shoving stuff out.
5k lead down to a 4k lead. Aster's got to do stuff. They're doing it. They're going for Roche.
This is the right call. It's not the absolute fastest because they don't have that Undying, but...
It's a pretty safe one.
Yeah. Spell Lamp onto the last. She stays full HP.
And they know. And Quest knows themselves. Even they may be aware this Roche is going down, but they have no interest in going there, Quest. It's not part of their game plan. They're just playing the farm game has got them out of some very tricky spots before. Could do so again here in this game.
I mean, even kind of in this series a little bit already, too. First game, right? TA2000, he tries to get his Ancient stack. It's been blocked. So Aster, they are doing a good job of not just pressuring the map, but also pressuring with just like little things like, you know, wards. I think I've seen a couple times where these camps have been blocked. As Omar trying to cut a wave.
They'll come in with a relocate to catch him as well.
It's bound to happen when you're this split up on the map for Quest. And his Vessel is almost done. Almost having a little bit of an answer for that IO.
I mean, no Kaori's down here as well.
Kaori too, yeah. Got Meteor Hammer.
Should be able to get both of the supports here. Hammer will catch him.
Oh, it actually just flip him.
He's going to try for the TP, force out. Okay, no, they're not going to drop any ults for that. They didn't have Lasso, and they don't want to use Ravage for that one, so they'll let him live.
Yep, and look at Noob, his positioning around another tier 2, cuts a creep wave. It's all about the economy game. Trickle your way back into this one on Quest.
I mean, it's a good trickle, honestly. The money's coming in for them.
It puts fear into Aster for sure, right?
Yeah.
Like, as I said, it was kind of, it's not the exact same by any means, of course, the first one, but it's still like the onus on Aster is going to be, eventually, will you be able to answer? Will you have enough for Medusa? Yeah, you'll kill Slark, maybe you'll have some stuff for Puck, but will you have the answer for TA2000 once he starts getting these items online? Because, yeah, ahead of the Lash, she's still keeping a pace, ahead of the Bloodseeker.
Oh, they've got this Aegis. They've got to get stuff done with this
Got to get stuff done, but look at the cutting of the waves. I mean, Noob just cut, I believe, 2 or 3 waves up in top. Can they get this push going down toward bottom?
I think sort of what flashbacks to game 1 where the Aegis push at the tier 2 did not go well. This time round, there's more reason to believe that it will go a lot better.
There's no
state
glyph.
that they're in.
Yeah, there's no glyph and there's not like these beat.
Quest don't want to fight. They don't want to fight. They'll allow tier 2s to go. They don't want to take any risky moves around that. High ground.
Keep going. I think Aster should just keep going.
This is going to be a bit of a different story. Quest are probably going to want to do something about this.
They've got Edict up in 3 seconds. Trying to force that glyph out. They will be able to get it. He actually didn't pop the Edict.
Oh, they're in. They get the lasso onto Noob, but they got the follow-up. They do. Sumail's there with the stun. A great catch from Pichu.
And they still have, now they have Edict for the tower. They'd already popped the glyph. It's dropping quick.
Tier 2000 will turn up to help.
He has to.
Defense it.
Yeah, he has to be here for this hold. Cannot give up a Rax this early on here on the side of Quest. Getting whittled down.
Good damage here from Sumail, already down to half HP. 25 seconds till Noob's back. Next creep wave quite far away, so
I think they're fine with this, yeah.
A bit of safety here for Quest.
I think Aster's still happy with the pressure that they're able to put there. They catch the puck and they force the TA2000 back into the base, which means he's not farming.
Yep, and they've still got many minutes, well, at least 2.5 minutes to play with the Sages, so
and we
can easily look to bring around the mid lane, look for another tier 2.
We did get to see what Amar built. I kind of felt like it had to be this item. He's playing versus Lash and Bat Rider. It's too good of a game not to go Mage Slayer, so does end up going Midas Mage Slayer, I believe, then Shard. And then he's looking to go Lincoln, so looking for some answers versus this Lasso in particular. Yeah, the early Blink Dagger for that Bat Rider now has caught 2 big cores. Catching the Bat, or catching the Medusa once and then catching that puck afterwards. And they're still lingering in the area. They want to try to keep this pressure going here. Tormentor's at the ready too if they want to go for it. Full BKB on Monet. Almost having a next item as well.
Definitely keeping the pressure on much better than they were able to in game 1.
Yeah.
Aster.
Ooh, and they get a good shard. They get Babokas. So Sumail enabled from this. They're going to keep this push rolling.
Yeah, they should keep forcing it here, Aster.
Tower is low.
Radiant's middle tower.
Look at Noob. I mean, Noob's telling his team, guys, just cut the next wave. I'm going to get the next wave after that. Just try to stop this push from continuing to go. See a Pichu, though. He's ready to look for a jump.
see if Aster can succeed with this.
Quest is so far back. They're not looking to get lassoed. This tower is dropping. Blood Rage Lash.
Just keep it going, Aster. So onto the racks. And they get another jump. Pichu once again with the catch. He's caught out Corey this time. Blood Run to follow up Corey. He is gone. See them to turn up with Amar. They're trying to go towards Samel, but of course Samel still got the Sages for a full minute. Samel just steps in to chase down Omar, takes out another noob. Will be able to burst through the Aegis of Samel.
They're going to buy back. The Rax is dropping. Success.
Got the Dream Call onto the two of them, but they have any follow-up damage. These are two pretty tanky heroes, and indeed taking him out to safety. Does mean XXS is left behind. Amar pounces forward. The Ravage is there. The XXS is gone. The space has been created, though. The melee rack's taken away by Aster.
They'll have to maybe give up a Boca. Actually gets the tether off. Can he disengage?
Does get hit by the Skadi. So they'll get him.
But they got a Rax.
They did. They got what they came for. Not without a bit of a cost.
They might even get the range. Yeah, they're going to get the range Rax as well, too. This Catapult's going to finish it off. So both of the Rax down here. And they do get the last shot and the Bloodseeker. It's 2 buybacks. A good hit from Aster.
Yeah, they needed that. That's exactly what they needed to get done with that Aegis. First sort of big push from that. And it is a success. They get the full set. Continue to look to keep ticking off the boxes. About 3 minutes until we'll see when Roshan's up again next. The question is going to be now whether Aster feel that they can force something when they don't have the Aegis, or if this is going to be 3 minutes where things slow down again, which of course will definitely feel to benefit Quest and TA2000. Amar, with his Midas, he is catching back up. He's catching up. He's already in the top 5. These moments do pass where Aster don't go for anything whilst they don't have the Aegis. Quest are going to be feeling better and better about the situation despite losing the barracks. It's not the end of the world.
Has a deep ward up here. This might catch Aster off guard if they're not careful. I don't know if they expect... I didn't see when they placed this ward.
Samel would be the big catch.
So Miller Monet.
Monet indeed, and Monet's going to walk straight into them. He just completely jump him. He's able to get the BKB off, but the Stone Gaze was there for TA2000. Monet's taken down, and they're also Baboka to fall. Double kill for TA2000.
More. Amar's in. Can't quite connect though. Great catch. They catch completely off guard. I mean, I literally have no idea when they placed that ward. I did not see when Omar was able to swing over there. TA2000, does he get the last hit? He does get the last hit on both of the kills too.
Check this out again in the replay. As you say, just not a chance that they'd have any idea that they would be waiting for them in that sort of position at this moment of the game, but they were. TA2000 picking up the double.
That was
more
clever.
Money for the Medusa.
That was a really clever move by them there. Yeah, TA2000. Eagle Song's online. And they are, I'd imagine it's starting to be the problems of start getting your solar crests, your drums, etc. Start getting this Medusa ready to 1v9.
A DD rune to be spotted as well.
That's a nice rune.
Looks like they'll just have to deny it. Make sure that Aster don't get it themselves.
Aster. Roshan, we'll find out about Roshan in about 1 minute. Are they going to look to go group up even before that, though?
They need the rush. They need the rush.
Just feel like they need it. It's going to give TA2000 that time to finish this butterfly.
Going to go for the smoke up. They know how important it is to secure this point of the game around this next potential Roche respawn. They have to get some sort of kill.
XP now in favor of Quest for the first time. The gold lead has chunked completely down too.
It's only going to keep going that way unless Aster can get back on track with the push.
How long is this Roche going to be? If it's a long spawn, that could be pretty brutal for Aster. If it's some like 3-minute spawn, the Quest is going to be super happy because of that. We'll see shortly. Mar nearly has Lincoln's finished up, so starting to get more solutions as well too versus this lasso. Full pipe for Kaori. They're gathering for that smoke. They've got the butterfly level 18 timing on the Medusa.
Super strong.
What's the Roche? It's a minute.
It's not bad for Aster.
It's on the lower side.
Not bad. I mean, Aster, they need it ASAP.
Getting top tier 2.
Of course, yeah, Quest. They know the potential's there for the Roche.
They want to fight. They're ready to fight now. What are they going to find? Playing around the vision. Playing around nighttime here with Amar leading the charge. He's going to have that vision of them. That night vision.
He's going to try and start things.
Okay, doesn't connect with the pounce, though.
It feels pressure to pop the Shadow Dance.
Okay, his Lincoln's was broken. I guess he was scared of a Blink Lasso. ward.
Smoke up now from Aster.
Teams just kind of taunting each other a little bit here. 40 seconds on the Shadow Dance. Roche, 10 seconds. They're actually going to re-smoke themselves. They're going to see Sumail in the mid lane, though. They're going to see that lightning.
Keep it away from this.
Noob perhaps is going to look for a jump.
I mean, it's still going to respect the fact that XXS is a bit of a scary target.
Yeah, that's not the target you want to go for as this puck.
But I mean, if they can swing across towards Sumail, it's a bit of a hard read to make because he's still under the smoke. But then you pushed out a couple of waves.
Noob is setting up for him here. He's kind of looking.
Yeah, Sumail's just going to play to the far side of the map. Another wave from this bottom lane now.
They pinged him out, but he's got boots to travel back up, so he can go join his team immediately. And yeah, Roche.
They can go into Aster. Yep. I think around sort of the safety of XXS's tide, on the tide on the Ravage, but they can try and force this.
And they've got good vision right outside the pit there. They placed that op sentry quest. The creeps are actually inside of their base right now, so looking to make the move here. They'll kill the Shiva's recipe. They know they're in there. Amar's even bringing sentries to get rid of this vision. Yeah, the Roche. They can't commit for it just here. TA2000 starting to walk in here.
They start tickling XXS. Take the Watcher over.
This is such tense moments here.
Move it from Aster.
Oops. Gives the information.
Trying to see what's up on the high ground.
They're dropping the tomb.
The tomb will be dropped. They're going to try and focus the tide first. Amar going in onto XXS.
Building up stacks.
The Shadow Dance, jump forward from Omar, but it's going to be dodged by XXS. XXS having the availability of the Ravage when he wants to. Off to the side, Pichu's going to get healed up by Baboka. They'll drop the Dream Coil just onto Pichu himself. It's enough to set up for the kill on the Bat Rider. They've lost in return Kaori. Amar over towards XXS. Now he's going to be able to pop the Depth Shroud. Keeping TA2000 safe for now. Ravage comes out. TA2000, the mana starting to get low. Mone's on top of him. He's able to put the snake out. He's got a bit more mana to keep fighting with. TA2000.
He's fighting.
Alive.
He's fighting.
They're going to be able to kill them all.
Whoa! Wait, what pumped him up? Was that a Lotus or something? Or just the snake that bounced?
I think it was just the snake bounce.
He got like 80% of his mana back.
I think it just hit on all of them.
I think it did. Maybe it did just bounce to absolutely everybody. Oh my God! Just stands his ground.
That's unfortunately for Aster, kind of their biggest nightmare. That's a devastating fight to have. They're getting everybody. TA2000 survives through it all.
He just stands his ground. They had to commit so much to kill everybody else, and then TA2000. I need to see it again. Was it a form? It had to have been like a perfect 4-man snake.
I think he just bounced on all of them.
I gotta see this again. Because look how low his mana dropped there for a second, right? It was like 10% or something.
Amar buying time from there with the Depth Shroud, but indeed.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, bouncing to Lesh, as we said, Lesh's int is pretty damn high, but my goodness, TA2000 back up to full.
Yeah, I think Amar sort of got all his minds down as well, so big damage done through those moments, and Aster just getting cleaned up. Quest now having the lead.
They're in the lead now, even though they lost that Rax. TA2000 set up for that success. He's got all the buffs. Oh man, Aster. Monet, he's got an Aghanims now, but as we saw, there's the butterfly issue really coming into play, that he couldn't actually focus fire this Medusa down.
TA2000 now with the BKB. Can't help but feel that Aster may have missed their timing, unfortunately, themselves.
Here. They maybe have, it feels like maybe they got like one or two more, perhaps. If they end up losing that next one, though, Quest just might run away with it. That Roche still alive. They're setting up for it, too. Look at Quest's positioning. They know this Roche is going to swing over here. They're already on the high ground. Noob at the ready with this Octarine Arcane. Yeah, here comes that Roshan. Aster has to contest.
20 seconds until Ravage is back.
Quest can just start hitting it. They have the Tombstone, they have the Flesh Golem. Aster is forced to make the move over here. Kaori is actually hanging on to his Tombstone. Amar playing on the left side. Whittled down.
Now with the Blood Bright.
They're good for the angle.
Trying to poke a TA2000, but really doesn't care.
Amar trying to give some information. They get at least like a steal or something. I mean, they're trying to, but They're stopping the Roche for a second. The coil.
They're going to drop it onto Sumail.
Got him
Now
isolated.
the steps across. They've got them with the silence. The heals are coming in from Baboka.
Stun of Baboka.
To take him out, but indeed the jump's perfect from Omar. Catches the two of them. Sumail and Baboka taken down, and this fight around Roshan is coming to an abrupt end for Aster. I mean, Monet is attempting to try and get back in on this. He's looking towards Kaori, but Amar is able to drop down.
Monet.
Now they jump in over towards XXS. He'll get the Ravage off. He's having the Meteor Hammer follow-up onto TA2000, but the Manta's there. TA2000 perfectly fine. XXS is gone. They cannot take this fight, Aster.
Monet can't hit anybody. The Ravage comes there, and he's just walking back and forth. He's like, oh my god, I can't actually commit. And they're going to lose the bat. Oh man, Aster.
This is painful for them.
Quest now going to get the Roche.
They might fight for Boca as well. They do. They catch him in the trees. The All for the Vision. The silence is there.
Oh, they've done it.
They really have. I don't see Aster being able to get themselves back out of this one. They've been knocked down hard. 11k lead for Quest. Everything going Quest way now. They had a decent opening to this game. They really did. They managed to build that lead. They were able to get the racks, but it always felt like it may not have been enough, and indeed, it's seeming like it wasn't.
A godly jump. The coil comes out, but Boca tries, but the fly-in from the techies is there. They already have the Stone Gaze as well, too. The Les just gets focus fired. Heavily in the lead now at this point. And TA2000, 4-1 and 9 this game on the Medusa. Has that, I mean, from the start, we did say, versus the Bloodseeker Les, is a good core matchup, even though Aster's the one dictating the pace the whole time. TA2000 kept his cool. And Amar too somehow. There's this annoying Slark offlane that kind of got completely shut down. All he has to do is give the information for the team to get these type of jumps, get this type of success here for TA2000.
And what do you do to play as Aster's lineup from behind?
Now, who knows? Monet just feels like, I mean, he built Aghanims. They lost the fight. He was getting close to Aghanims. He finished the Aghanims. It didn't do much of anything. And now it's like another full item on the Medusa. He didn't have a solution for the Butterfly, and it's nowhere in realms of him ever having one.
Yeah, Amar's having a great time now. He's got his Ags done.
I mean, I got to be honest, it still was a really impressive game overall from Sumail. I think he really played his heart out in this series.
They'll get the lasso.
Not much to show with that.
I don't think TA2000 cares at all. It's up to the base. Quest go.
Tombstone's already on prep too, so they see absolutely everything. Anchor smash to attempt to slow things down, but Amar, a jump to poke. A jump to reset. Tower's falling. Ravage up in 1 second. But this Deuce has got 3 lives now, and you couldn't bring her down once even before she had all these items.
TA2000 almost teasing them here as he dances outside the stairs of the base.
They forced everybody back. They're like, okay. I mean, well, the safest thing they can do is just kind of reset. Disaster, I mean, they're trapped in now. It's like, do they even want to attempt for some type of smoke kind of catch? Doesn't feel like they really can. They're actually just going to go for relocate split push. Just for a small amount of pressure here.
Leaving the base seems like a pretty terrifying affair here for Aster.
She said ran out of steam. So close, but not quite enough. Quest.
They always knew they were going to be able to get to this point, Quest, if they kept the game going.
They just kept that farm going. The Midas off-lane Slark coming to a pub near you.
It's
doesn't
good.
matter if your lane doesn't go so well.
It's good. Are doing that.
No, it's
doing great. I mean,
it's smart how they
he
played
can
it.
just sort of throw himself in.
Yeah,
get
and it's
tied, save people, bail them out with the Depth Shroud,
and play around the nighttime, right? You give a ton of vision whenever you're playing this like Slark or you're playing with Tombstone. So,
always stuck in the Tombstone.
Not anymore.
Okay, there we go. Mantas his way out of it. Now he's in. Pops the BKB, Stone Gaze as well. They step forward. They're going to be able to get the jump onto Sumail, onto Baboka. They're both dead. They might even just get XXS as well. He'll turn around with the tentacles. He has the Ravage. It's the 4 of them there. It's impressive, but it's not
Monet
enough.
does nothing. He literally does 0 damage.
That's the bottom racks. They're going down. They're going down whether Aster like it or not. They can't stop this. as Quest, they can move towards another lane. There's 3 dead on Aster. Noob just holding Monet and Pichu back in the fountain.
Just putting out the high fives.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
That's it. TF2000 even just going to force his Aegis to pop. He drops all his items so that it doesn't ensure that he dies. Puts him back into his bags, and that push continues.
Now we'll check again on the replay here. They try and get the jump.
That looked really weird.
I mean, he was grab allied into the tombstone, but I think
Did the Lotus Orb reflect the grab ally?
no. I
his own
think it just
teammate?
looked weird, like he was in the tombstone,
But not really.
but because he was lassoed when he was dragged into the tombstone, it looked.
But why'd he still show? I'm gonna have to test this afterwards.
I mean, this
Something
guy.
funky. Just because I heard a Lotus Orb, I heard a Lotus spell, right? Something got Lotused.
I think that must have just been something else.
Maybe it was just another spell.
There's-
But anyway, he
was
was in the tomb, but not really. Okay, whatever.
Well, he's just, look at this Medusa. He's so fat, he can't fit in a tombstone. Look at it. It's 30k net worth nearly on tier 2000. He ain't fitting this guy in any tombstone. So, Mail,
Oh,
it's
no.
been found.
Oh, no. He just wanted... He was at the wishing well. He was wishing for another chance for this game.
I guess so. It's, he already knows. He knows that this one is, it's in the books. This one is, it's not going to happen here for Aster Quest.
Nope. Just going to toy with them as well, too. Jump in the midst of all of them. PA2000 to charge in.
And they get the opening stun as one. He has to put the BKB to run. Tries to turn to find some sort of rupture opportunity. He's not going to find it. The tier 4s are going down. Jump ball from XXS. Again, Monet not able to get the rupture off. He's caught by the silence this time.
He's in trouble.
He's getting tethered. Omar jumps in. He's trying to get back to the fountain. He's going to get taken
gone.
down. Corey finishes him off with a decay.
XXS also to fall.
That's got a buyback, Monet. Did get the rupture off onto Omar.
Well,
Oh, they got the
okay,
lasso.
bring him in the fountain.
There we go. The lasso rupture combo. Omar
Whoops.
still alive.
No way. Wait, what? What? Okay.
They will kill him.
But
The Ancient's
thrown.
exposed. Quest, they're looking to close this one up. Aster, have they got one more fight in them? I don't think they do. Monet,
I don't think they do.
he's not even going to be able to get out and hit any of the heroes. It's over. GG is called. Quest Esports will take this game, and with that, the series 2-1 today against Aster.
I mean, Sumail played his heart out. I really got to say it. This series, he really brought it to them. I mean, decimated the matchup both times, second game and third game. But this one, I mean, Quest, they just waited and waited and waited for their timings.
Now, these guys are too good. I mean,
And it's just one fight. All they need is one fight, and it's really that top one. A 4-man bound snake or something like that to restore all the mana. If that Dusa dies, maybe there is a different realm for Aster there.
I
but
mean,
not
I don't
the
know.
case. Probably not anyway. Maybe not.
Yeah,
Quest just,
I-
they're too good.
I don't think Quest was worried at all this game. There was a bit of a lead. They lost that bottom racks, but we saw it was almost kind of a calculated loss of racks. They didn't throw lives or too many lives away into defending those barracks. They knew that the comeback was always going to be on the cards for them. And Aster, it felt like for Aster, it was kind of a better version of Game 1's attempt to try and close things up,